Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. Hashtag Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Cup.
How you doing, everybody? Oh, has your heart rate slowed down at all? Man, oh man, incredible game last night, and another one, big one coming up at Rogers Place tomorrow. Jay and I have the U.S. Open on the ESTV here in the studio of the Edmonton Sports Talk Global HQ. Father's Day on Sunday, and I'm Reid Wilkins, joined by Grace, Rose, and Faith's dad. Jay, how are you doing, buddy?
Wow, that was good. I'm doing great. I mean, that was, I came in this morning and usually, hey, how you doing? Good. I think the first thing I said is, could you believe what happened?
Yeah.
Could you just believe what we watched? And honestly, that was really neat for me to see from you, Reid, because normally you're pretty, not cold about it, but you're pretty practical about it. Like, yeah, it was a game. Even for you, that was like, oh my. Like, that was something that we witnessed last night.
Yes.
It was very cool to see.
It's very special, I think. Soak it in. I mean, what's my old term? Embrace the tension. Embrace the opportunity. I think and I hope the Oilers are pretty competitive for several years. I would think as long as they have those two players, they're going to have a pretty good foundation to be good. But you never know. You never know if they're going to be back in this exact situation. I know they got back from last year. I mean, they were down 3-1 after 4 games and had been down 3-0. So, they were at a disadvantage the entire Stanley Cup Final, basically, last year. Now it's 2-2. They do have Game 5 at home, and they can win on the road. I mean, they've won some big games. I know they didn't win in Game 7 last year, but they won Game 4 last night. They won Game 5 last year. It's incredible. And how that game played out. Like, here's the thing. I hate to break it to people. I did not think it was over after the first period. And quite frankly, shame on you if you did.
Well,
like if you actually no, but I would actually. I'm sorry. I'm going right to the negative here somewhat. Not somewhat. I'm going to the critical. If you're an Oilers fan and you gave up after the first period, shame on you. Not for not having faith in your team. That's one thing. For apparently ignoring recent history with this club. Or even medium-length history. They do not go away. They do not go away. They rarely get, blown out or trounced. I know it happened in the previous game. But, okay, it's 3-0. Okay, it's bad. Okay, they can play better. Okay, they came out and they did it. And as soon as they made it 3-1, relatively early into the period, 3:33 into the period, I thought, okay, the tone of the game has changed.
yes.
And I mean, sometimes you have to, and I think athletes are good at this. It doesn't matter how it got to that score. That is now the score, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 3-1. You're down 2 with 46 minutes left in the game. Or 36 minutes left in the game. It's fine. We've been there. Then down 3-2. And it was just, and I think I told this story with Tom last night on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show when I was doing Reid's Read for Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. I was watching the game with a friend of mine, and it was the face-off that led to the Pud Colson goal. And the Oilers had owned the period, and they're up 3-2. And I said, they have to get out of this period now without allowing a goal. Like, keep Florida at 3. If you're down 3-2, fine. You can go into the dressing room saying we just beat them by 2 goals in a period and we're only down 1. And then Podkolzin scored right after that. And then I said, well, now you got to keep it at 3-3. And quite frankly, I was half expecting the Oilers to score before the end of the period. They took over the game. And look, that's the beauty of this series. Both teams are excellent, but hockey is a game in which one excellent team can dominate another excellent team for a long stretch. And these two teams have done it to each other at various times through the first 4 games. And that's what makes it so exciting, because who's going to turn it up, or who's going to hold off the pressure, or whose depth player is going to make a big play, or which team's goaltender is going to make a big save. It is just an absolutely remarkable series so far.
Isn't it amazing, though, Reid, how one period to another can be so different? I mean, you look at the domination the Oilers had on the Florida Panthers in the second period. I mean, that was glaring. I just, from the first period to the second period was night and day. And you know what? Here's the thing that might let some Oilers fans off the hook. So, you referenced this team has come back. Yes, this is a very resilient group. That is correct. However, the penalties taken in the first period would cause some to concern and say, oh, here we go again. And I don't blame that, because, you're thinking this team has talked about this for the last 2 days.
Right.
Stay out of the box.
Up. Yeah.
Wake up. And what do you see is Evander Kane and Darnell Nurse sitting side by side in the penalty box.
Yeah.
And they capitalize. A beautiful goal by Matthew Tkachuk, by the way. But they capitalize on that, and you're thinking, okay, well, they can't stay out of the box. And then the Ekholm's penalty, it seemed very similar to the prior game. However, they didn't let the wheels fall off.
No.
But not only that, they took back the game.
Because they played hockey. They focused on playing hockey as opposed to getting revenge. But I think this goes back to another theme we've talked about. If the Oilers do not beat themselves, they are very hard to beat. Not impossible to beat. And they're playing the other, really, these are the 2 premier teams in the NHL. 5 of the last 6 spots in the Stanley Cup Final have belonged to these 2 teams. Right?
Yeah.
If you look at one team from each conference for the last 3 years, that's 6 spots. All 3 in the East to Florida, 2 to Edmonton. So you can't argue these are the 2 premier franchises in the NHL. The only thing the Oilers are missing is a cup, which maybe they get in the next few days, hopefully. But the Oilers are hard to beat if they don't beat themselves. Now, Florida can get in there and do a bunch of things, but some of the domination Florida has earned this series is you're right, Jay, is because the Oilers have wound up in the penalty box. And those penalties were frustrating. It's like speaking of being a parent, I remember when I was a kid, and now I see other parents doing it. You got a preschool kid, and they're old enough to hold a glass on their own. 2 hands for beginners. And then you see the kid try to grab the glass with one hand and spill it. It's like you were told to use 2 hands, or that's going to happen. Evander, you were told to stay out of the penalty box. Darnell, you know how to body check. Don't do that. Even the Ekholm high sticking penalty. Don't flay around with your stick. It might go into a bad spot and hit a guy. So that was absolutely frustrating. But as we've often said, figure it out. And the Oilers figured it out. And it was tense. And I know a lot of people, like some of the messages I got last night. Obviously, I talked to my mom after the game. My dad is much more stoic, though apparently he said quite a filthy word.
Oh!
I heard my dad might have said quite a filthy word when the Panthers tied it. Like a word I would not dare say on the air.
Rhymes with?
Well, rhymes with the object that you use to play hockey, the little black thing that gets shot around. Yeah, apparently it rhymes with that word.
Ooh, bad boy.
Yeah. And of all the chances, the one that went in, but you need a bounce.
Yep.
Trent Frederick didn't get a bounce. Reinhart didn't get that puck a quarter inch lower to go under the bar off Pickard's glove. You need a bounce. It's epic. I know I've used that word before. This series is epic. Maybe we will talk, because I didn't get into it with Tom. We could talk about where this could potentially rank in terms of series we've seen in our lifetime. We can only go back so far for greatest Stanley Cup Finals, but I think it's moving up the list, especially if we get another 2 or 3 games of that. All right, you can get in touch, and you are going to want to get in touch today because we're going to get into the Corey Perry first period, whatever it was. I don't know if it was a speech, but he said something after the first period. But you can reach us by texting 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. You can email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. We already got a limerick sent in from Bronco Nick. People like sending us their limericks. You might be listening through iHeartRadio, through TuneIn Radio. Both of those are excellent audio streaming apps. I use iHeartRadio quite a bit. Like if I'm at home and listening to the station, it's more often than not just through iHeart. Just put it on my phone, either connect it to my Bluetooth or just leave my phone on while I'm walking around doing stuff, getting ready for work. I'll listen to Nielson or the Hangout that way. So those are great apps. If you like a video element so you can see our shining faces on a Friday afternoon, we got a wonderful studio here in the Mayfield neighborhood of Edmonton, and you can subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube. We have a chat going there. We call it the Nasty Chat. Sometimes we read stuff out of there, but usually we just kind of let you guys go and moderate each other. There might have been a Florida troll who I gave a game misconduct to yesterday. Fans of other teams are welcome here.
Oh, yeah.
When you're just trying to antagonize Oilers fans and using insulting language, I might give you a second or two, but I booted a guy yesterday because I'm just like, you're not contributing. You're taking up space from people who might actually want to contribute or have an adult discussion, mature discussion, not necessarily adult discussion.
Mature.
Yeah. And give us a thumbs up if you're on YouTube. We've gotten the 200 thumbs every day except one during the playoffs. We don't want it to be except two, especially when your club is in the Stanley Cup Final. So click that thumbs up and let's get another great total going today.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right.
Hey, would it be fair to say that we're in the dinner theater district?
I guess, well, there's one dinner theater, 2 blocks away?
But there's another one in West Edmonton Mall, isn't there?
Oh, is that still there? What's that one called? Jubilations?
Let's just assume
there. Let's assume it's there. Sure.
So we're in the dinner theater district of Edmonton. That's how we need to refer to
enough.
Where we are.
So, I mean, we're not really a comfortable walk from Wem. Well, I guess it depends on the season.
Reid, if you think of dinner
fine.
Theaters in Edmonton, you think of the Mayfield Dinner Theater.
Yes, is it still called that?
Yeah, I just Googled it. But
the hotel's no longer called the Mayfield.
Yeah, I think it's
like the DoubleTree or something?
Something like that.
I still call it the Mayfield.
Yeah, there used to be a bar in the bottom of that.
Oh, really?
I believe. I think it was where... I forget what... Gager, do you remember the bar in Mayfield in the Mayfield Hotel? Yeah, somebody will remember it.
Okay. Well, you put it in the nasty chat or text us 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino Hotline. Okay, so one of the stories from last night's game was that Corey Perry said something that inspired / scolded / fired up his teammates during the first intermission yesterday. Perry did speak this morning before the team flew back to Edmonton. And here's all he would offer on his first period speech.
Well, it wasn't wisdom. It was just honesty. I mean, just had to realize where we were in the moment and just kind of look ourselves in the mirror and how we were playing and what we were doing. That's pretty much all it was.
When was this something as the first period was going on that you thought, okay, I have to say something, or did you get in the room and it just came to you that something needs to be said here?
It was probably just, sitting on the bench for the last, 30 seconds, and we looked flat. We looked, like we were off, and it was just one of those things that things are said, and it's nice that we came away with the win.
What is it like thinking for that moment? Maybe if the season's flashing before your eyes, or down 3-0, to now knowing it's a best of 3. Like, what's that sort of whiplash effect like that you guys as a team are good at dealing with?
Well, nothing's been easy for us. We're good when our backs are against the wall and facing adversity, and we know how to play hockey, and we did that last night, and we found a way to...
Okay, so the first couple parts of that were about... He didn't really say what he said, but he said it sort of, last 30 seconds of the period, realizing how flat the team was. The goal that made it 3-0 was with 41.7 seconds left. Wouldn't surprise me if he started formulating his thoughts there. Before we get to our off-topic topic, which we're really looking forward to today because we think you guys are going to have some fun with it. I mean, Jay, would you think it's a relatively simple message, like telling his teammates to pull their heads out of a certain part of their body, or maybe even saying something like, I don't know, you guys seem interested in being able to golf in 4 days, but I'm not. Stu doesn't seem like he is. So who's with me? You know, do you think it's something like that? Like, I doubt he got up and said, hey guys, we need the F3 higher on the forts. Like, you know what I mean? It was something that maybe challenged their professionalism or their competitiveness.
I think it was just wake up.
Right.
Wake the you-know-what up right now. But see, sometimes it's not so much about what's being said. It's about who's saying it and how they're saying it. Corey Perry, you know, when Connor McDavid had that clip come out from last year's final.
The dig in.
That shocked everybody.
Right.
That was, wow. I did not think Connor had that in him. Well, if Corey Perry decides to speak, and this leads me to believe, Reid, that Corey Perry's not the loudest guy in the locker room. I'll say that. When guys like that step up and speak in key moments, and it doesn't happen often, the message gets across.
Right.
That's like, our quarterback at U of A was Daryl Salmon. Very quiet guy, almost too quiet. Pissed me off.
Right.
I wanted more from him. One halftime, he tore a strip off the entire team.
Really?
And we came out and played a totally different game because that guy doesn't step up and say that unless he is just dying to say it. That's how much it means to him. So when you see that and hear that from those players, it just means so much more.
All right, so this is going to give us our off-topic topic today for William Huff.
I can't wait to hear yours.
Jay thought of this last night. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. What did Corey Perry say during the first intermission? Wrong answers only. That's kind of become a thing on social media the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, wrong
it's
answers.
Like you'll see a guy holding like a wrapper or something, right? And he's eating something that you're pretty sure is a hamburger, and somebody will post and say, hey, what's Zach Koob eating here? Wrong answers only, right? Or they'll put a picture of somebody that's obviously Charles Barkley, watching a hockey game. Who's this? Wrong. So what did Corey Perry say during the first intermission last night to inspire the Oilers? Wrong answers only. I have one to get us started. Mine is not very funny, but maybe just funny enough to kickstart the conversation. Hey guys, this game is being played in sunrise, not sunset.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's about a 4 out of 10, but just to get it started.
Well, yeah. I thought, they do have a charter flight home after they flew back today, right? And so I thought maybe something to motivate the guys for the flight. Is that, look, guys, we pull this victory out and Shake Shack's on me.
Right. Yeah, some food. Some with food or drink would always work. You just
get to the plane and there's 50 bags of hamburgers and milkshakes.
Yeah.
That would motivate me.
Or maybe he just grabbed the orange slices and started dumping them in the garbage. It's like, doesn't look like anybody needs these. And then the second intermission orange slices, guys are looking up like, oh, we want those.
Yeah. Something was said. And God bless him for saying it because it changed that team.
Yeah, it'd be great to know what it was. I mean, it may have just been.
I think it's more fun to speculate and just wonder.
It's more fun to speculate and wonder. It's one of those things maybe we're best never not knowing.
Exactly.
But I think it's. Yeah, we were kind of talking about it. It wasn't a tactical thing. It wasn't like, hey guys, let's back check harder. I think it was more like, who the blank is going to show some testicular fortitude here. Or maybe it's just something that like, oh, you guys, like I kind of said, you guys are playing like you're ready for the season to be over. It's going to be on Saturday unless you wake up, right? And then you guys are like, oh, yeah, geez. And it's interesting, too, Jay. I remember Todd Nelson telling me when he was an interim coach of the Oilers. This wasn't on mic. I mean, this has been a while now, so I don't think, and this isn't like a shocking revelation. But Todd told me that, and he's obviously coached a lot in the AHL and had that stint as the Oilers interim coach, that he worried very much about the camaraderie on the team, and that he said, look, I know this is not a good team. I know we're in the draft lottery for McDavid, yada, yada, yada. But like when I started, you'd see a whole bunch of 2 or 3 guys together eating breakfast, and now you got almost the whole team eating breakfast together. And he said, when you get into the playoffs, they don't get paid. I mean, I know it's still a very comfortable life in the NHL, but he said you want them to have the feeling that they don't want it to end. I mean, obviously they want it to end with the championship, but when they're in a tough situation, they don't want it to end because even if the Oilers bring back 17 guys next year, it's never going to be this specific group again. It's never going to be this exact vibe. So if you feel like you got something going, you better embrace it and try to hold it close and dear for as long as you can. I'm almost making myself tear up here. Getting all sappy on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, what's going on? But
I do think there is something to that. Like, I don't know what he said, but look around this room. If you don't feel like going to the wall for yourself, that's one thing. Look around the room. You want to go to the wall for these guys? You've been doing it all. You've been doing it all year, and now you're going to stop. I mean, maybe it was something like that. Now you're going to stop with a week left in the season. You know what I mean? Like, I think he almost had to challenge their heart almost in that situation.
What about even challenging themselves, saying, "Do you remember and know who we are? Do you know how badass this team is and can be?
Yeah."
Remember that. We've done that. Let's do that. It's way more fun. It could have been challenging them just to say, look, whoever this last team was for the last 4 periods, we don't know them. We don't need them. Mm-hmm. We know who we are. Let's play like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I run through a wall right now.
No, let's go do it.
Let's do it.
But it is like, one of the things you and I say to each other, like, giving up's no fun.
Can't do it.
And I think I wonder if that was kind of, I know we're asking for humorous submissions. Our off-topic topic for William Huff. What did Corey Perry say during the first period? Wrong answers only. But, even something like, hey, like if we're losing this series, we're not going down like this, guys. Like we're not going down 6-1 in another game. John Carlos says, hey guys, I listened to EST afternoons before I lock in for games. A guy named Hernan sings La Bamba when the Oilers win the series. I want to hear him sing that song one more damn time.
Perry said, I just saved 15% on my car insurance by switching to Geico. Okay, I can't read that one. E-Town Beatdown. Perry did a mocking version of Connor's infamous speech. The boys had a laugh and dug the F in.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right.
There's so many. These are great.
We got to get a break. We're making Coob wait here.
Sorry,
so the assignment is for the off-topic topic for William Huff. What did Corey Perry say during the first intermission? Wrong answers only. You got to keep them so we can read them on air.
Preferably.
So if you want to use naughty language, you got to sub in words that Jay and I could actually say. All right, we do have Drew Remenda coming up at 4:00. We should have Dustin Nielson at 5 from Hamilton. I think he's in transit, but he's hoping to be there in time as well. We'll get to some clips from Chris Knobloch and Matthias Ekholm before the team left Florida this morning. Here comes the Coop.
NBA action has the Pacers and Thunder tipping off for Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Indiana leading the series 2-1. Action starting at 6:30. And the Stingers also take the court against the River Lions in Niagara. Tip-off at 5 with EST's audio streams joining the game in progress at 6 o'clock. Staying out east, Ottawa hosts Montreal for the Bombers. It's Brady Oliveira who could miss multiple weeks with a shoulder injury. Testing needed to confirm. TSN's Farhan Lalji, the first to break the news. And BC's Nathan Rourke took an awkward spill last night against the Bombers, being pulled midway through the fourth quarter, with Rourke's availability up in the air for Week 3, requiring further evaluation on his pulled oblique. In the majors, Toronto and Philadelphia start their 2-game series. Kevin Gausman gets the ball for the Jays. First pitch at 4:45, while the Riverhawks are also in action, meeting the North Paws in Kelowna. Listen to the game on any of EST's audio streams. We'll join that one at 7:30. At the U.S. Open, it's JJ Spawn regaining first place sole position atop the leaderboard at 4 under. He's even through 13 holes on the day. Meanwhile, Canadian Taylor Pendrith is tied for 14th, sitting 7 shots back, 3 over, playing 13 in round 2. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977, or you can visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. More Oilers discussion brings us back after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
2 guys and a goalie.
You're going to get the best Stuart Skinner of possible.
Through 3 games, Cass, do you buy that with Stuart Skinner?
Look at him from game 4 on in series, where he's been historically consistently fantastic late in series, which is where we're at. Guy's got 3 shutouts, and anyone that pins that last game on Stuart Skinner and says the reason that the Oilers lost was Stuart Skinner, I don't know what hockey game you were watching.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the Banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Time out, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
All right, there is the world famous Thumb Click remix as put together by the irreplaceable Zachary Kubish. If you're taking us in on YouTube today, hammer that like button, give us a thumbs up. Let's get to 200 as we've been doing throughout the postseason. Again, except for that one day early in the Western Conference Final when they played Dallas. We don't know what happened. People lost their thumb drive that day.
Oh,
double meaning. We are, what can I say? We are in the Banquet studio, by the way. Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. Details at thebanquetbar.com. All right. So, the off-topic topic for William Huff. Do we have some submissions coming in, Jay? The off-topic topic for William Huff is, what did Corey Perry say during his first intermission inspirational message, or whatever it was? Wrong answers only. Wrong answers only. 780-218-9999 is how you text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox.
Trevor in Airdrie says, guys, I just bet 10 grand on the Play Alberta app that we will come back and win this game. I'll split it with everybody if we win. Hula Boy Steve, Corey Perry copied the Mr. Burns inspirational speech. There's a little crippled boy depending on us. I know because I crippled him myself to inspire you.
Oh, my God.
Dr. John, Perry told the team that his left nut dangled harder than all of them.
Well, that's going to live in infamy, eh? All
right. Keep them coming in. These are fun.
Those are really good. You got more?
Well, there's been a couple like this. Rob the plumber. Hey guys, we've got them right where we want them. Now they have a 3-goal lead.
Well, you might have to say something like that sometimes. That's really good.
Comeback kids, eh? Because you can't call them kids, but
no, they're men. They're adults.
So how? So comeback kids,
comeback seniors.
Well, how could we, what is it? Momentum stealing men?
Yeah, maybe. They're the, I don't know what you'd call it for the something with veterans, maybe. I don't know.
Vigorous veterans?
That was amazing. Were you, like, when did you think it was really game on? At 3-1?
Well, yeah. My wife and I were sitting there watching, and because the second period was totally different, as we both know. And you could just get a sense of watching it saying, oh, something's happened here. They're not getting pounded into the boards by Florida. They're able to get the puck out of their own zone.
Yeah.
And they're actually entering the offensive zone.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So we both said to each other, there's got to be a goal on the board by the Oilers before the halfway mark of the second period.
Yeah.
And yeah, as soon as Nuge scored on the power play, I said, that's it. There you go.
Well, and you could see it. I mean, we talked a lot about in game 3, and then for the road games, I get to see what the panel is saying with Kelly and Bieksa. And I think Kelly referred to the Oilers' body language, and certainly, and you saw how they were in game 3. I mean, we know about the obviously we talked a lot about the aggression in game 3 and the cross-checking and the fighting and all that stuff, but they didn't have a great presence in that game. But then it can go both ways. Like you saw it a little bit in that second period, because Florida took a penalties, and you could kind of see it on the face of the guy going to the penalty box, like, oh, okay, like, yeah, here they come. Here they come. And that's the beauty of it, right? It is going to go both ways. Like I've been saying, even a great team can be put on their heels. But then to further complicate the emotional journey for Oilers fans, like Wallman scores with like 6:24 left. Great play, like Nugent Hopkins, incredible work down low. He's all by himself in the offensive zone, kind of pins it against the back of the net, stays on it. Kapanen gets it. I thought he's going to shoot. Wallman's tickling the rafters for the slap shot. And when he, Bobrovsky's obviously very good. And I thought, this damn Bobrovsky's going to read the play. And he was getting over there, and he just couldn't, because I think it ticked off his shirt.
It was a rocket.
His sleeve when it went in. And I thought, can they hold the lead? And I actually thought they were going to hold the lead.
I thought it was over then too, Reid.
Yeah, I honestly thought they were going to hold the lead. And then that tying goal, I know last night we talked about some of the coverage. I think Pickard, like, he just partially didn't get everything he wanted on it. And it just seemed to go to that no man's land, right? Because then Kulak kind of didn't retrieve it properly and didn't get it all the way up the boards. Like, I think if Pickard would have got it where he wanted, it's probably riding the glass.
Yeah, he somewhat fanned on it,
and then
right?
Leon can get it. And then if he would have partially, like almost totally fanned on it, Kulak would have just came and got it. So just sort of, just a tough play, and then it comes in front of the net. Great play by Tkachuk to make that extra pass.
Sure.
Back to Reinhart for the goal. And then it's just, but I still, like, I never really, because a lot of times after the fact, people, well, what did you think was going to happen? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
Oh, like, did you not think they were going to take that in overtime?
Like, I was still quite confident.
I was still confident, yes.
Like, I didn't think they were going to come out all like, oh, Florida tied it late.
Right. But, I mean, look at that save Pickard made on Bennett in the high grade, A grade shot. Got enough of it off the bar.
Yeah.
I thought that went
one off the shoulder. Yeah.
I thought that went right off the bar. But no, the Pickard got a pretty good chunk of that with his glove.
Yeah. Well, I saw a clip from him after the game that he looked.
Yeah.
He thought it was in his, to see if his glove. It wasn't. Oh, it hit the crossbar or something.
And then Trent Frederick, I mean, just
like I don't know if I've ever seen a play like
doing
that.
the Lord's work in front of the net, and he can't even get a bounce.
But he stopped himself first.
Yes.
Without even knowing where the puck was. It goes off his skate. It's going over the line. Now, if that would have been, I don't know if that would have been reviewed. Well, the league looks at everything. So they may have just said, we got to confirm this. But that was not a kick. Now, they probably would have looked for goalie interference, but I don't know if there was any. Like, Frederick's allowed to go in there after the puck.
I think Chris Cuthbert and Craig Simpson were quite happy about that not going in because they said this would have been a bit of a melee on how to review this because there's just so much going on. And how did Frederick end up in there? And, it would have been a really tough one. If they called it a goal on the ice, let's say that puck goes in and they call it a goal, I think that would have been hard to overturn.
I think so, because I don't think, well, I mean, you never know what they're going to look for, right? But there's so many little things when you have a break like that go against you, or you think, oh, when's the next one going to come? But they kept coming. And I know Draisaitl was trying to pass it to Perry. Quite frankly, there were two passes on that play that were intended for Perry.
Well, Podkolzin.
Podkolzin, when I saw it live, I'm like, okay, he knifed it over to Leon. And then you see on the replay, he one-touched it, and that was going to Perry. So that hopped over Perry's stick. It goes to Leon, and then Leon's pass to Perry never gets to him. I mean, that's the crazy thing about this game. I mean, Podkolzin did the right thing. The play didn't work, but it still worked. Draisaitl did the right thing. His idea didn't work, but it still all works out. That's the mania of playoff overtime. But you still have to have recognition and skill and strength like Draisaitl did. And I was saying this with Tom. You're like, as far as I know, from what I hear about the Panthers roster, AJ Greer is on the team because he's a wrecking ball and he's strong. Well, Leon outstrengthed him on that play. I don't know if that's a term. He outmuscled him on that play to hold him off and then use one hand on the stick to get the puck into the scoring area, so to speak.
I found it interesting, Reid, how stoic Leon Draisaitl looked after that goal. Did you notice that? Almost as if it was like he was shocked.
Who?
Leon Draisaitl after it scored the overtime game winner. He wasn't. He was just standing there. And like everybody's jumping on him and yelling and screaming. He was just standing there.
Yeah, it wasn't as big a celebration as others, but I mean, he's had a couple that were just stepping into one time.
Maybe he just expected
on the power play, or maybe it's just like, hey, we got a break. There it is. We're tied. Like, let's get back to Edmonton.
So that Leon set that NHL record with 4 overtime goals in a single playoff year. But he also established a new franchise record for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yes, with
the most overtime goals in Oilers playoff history, and he's done it all in one season. One postseason, I should say.
So the Oilers have 5 overtime wins. They're 5-1 in overtime. And as we know, they weren't very good in overtime until starting last year. So who did he pass? Anderson? I think it was Anderson that had the 3. I was looking at it last
find
night.
It here, Reid.
Yeah, the NHL put it out. But yeah, it was just, I mean, it was just incredible. Everything about that game was incredible.
Yeah, Glenn Anderson has 3. Joe Murphy has 2, Peter Klima 2, Gretzky 2, Tikkanen 2, Curry 2,
and McDavid 2.
McDavid 2.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
4 overtime goals. So assuming the Oilers might be able to do the whole thing, at the very least, they will have won a quarter of their games on a Leon Draisaitl overtime goal if they win the cup. It's pretty amazing.
You know what sucked though for Oil's faithful is after a win like that, you could just look at this and say, that's it. That's the icing on the cake. The Oilers have this series in the bag. Book it. Book the parade. All that stuff. But this is still the Florida freaking Panthers.
Can't say that.
They won't go away either. And you rest assured, just know that. This series is not over. This series is not a cakewalk. They are not mentally beat after last night's game. This is the Florida Panthers. These are the defending Stanley Cup champions. They aren't going anywhere. I expect Saturday night, tomorrow night, it's going to be a dog
And that's
fight.
what makes it fun because, and now I know the Oilers got a little off the rails in Game 3, and that was the one lopsided game in this series. But I don't think that this series is going to be decided by one team cracking, by losing their belief. Because the Oilers were in a perfect position to lose their belief and say, well, I guess it's not our year, boys. And they came back and won. And Florida's not going to say it. Like Florida's already won a game in Edmonton. What are they on the road this year? Like 2 or 3 losses away from home? That's what makes this so beautiful. All right. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. The off-topic topic for William Huff. We've had some great submissions from you so far. We're looking for more. What did Corey Perry say to the team at the end of the first intermission or during the first intermission? Wrong answers only. Jay's play of the day is coming up. Drew Remenda at the top of the hour. Dustin Nielson just texted me. He's confirmed for little after 5 o'clock Mountain Time.
Baby.
I guess I don't need to say Mountain Time. Well, we could have listeners in other time zones.
That's true.
Yeah. We're having a great Friday. Click that thumbs up if you're watching us on YouTube. Let's keep pushing for 100. First 100, then 155, then 200. We're on a good pace, but don't delay. Get in there and click. Here comes the Coop.
On the court, the Thunder look to tie their NBA Finals series against the Pacers at 2 apiece. Game 4 tip-off at 6:30. While in Niagara, the Stingers and River Lions go head-to-head. Action starts at 5 o'clock with EST's audio streams, all of our audio streams, joining midway through the game at 6 o'clock. In the CFL, the Alouettes and Red Blacks clash kickoff is at 5:30. Other news has TSN's Farhan Lalji reporting that Winnipeg's Brady Oliveira could miss multiple games with a shoulder injury. The severity of the injury has yet to be confirmed. And Nathan Rourke of the Lions has to undergo testing as well to see the extent of his pulled oblique that he suffered last night against the Bombers, being pulled midway through the fourth quarter. Baseball action has the Jays and Phillies with their series opener. First pitch at 4:45. Kevin Gausman taking the mound for the Jays. On the road, the Riverhawks meet the North Paws. That one gets going at 6:30. EST's audio streams carrying the action midway through the game at 7:30. Elsewhere, round 2 play at the U.S. Open sees Canadian Taylor Pendrith tied at 26 at 4 over at the end of his day. JJ Spawn stays in first place at 4 under through 14 holes. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need, get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park. You can call them at 780-467-5014. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on after a quick break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? horses, chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Hope you're having a great Friday. Jay and I hanging out at the Edmonton Sports Talk Global HQ. We got the second round of the U.S. Open on the ESTV. What do we got? Burns and Spawn tied for the lead at 3 under. Burns in the clubhouse shot 65 today. Spawn playing the 16th hole. They've grown the rough out, Jay.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw a look at Rory live. He's +8. When does Rory shoot +8?
He's +8 for the tournament, or he shot 8 over today?
Currently for the tournament.
Yeah.
That don't happen too often.
No. So he'll probably miss the cut then.
I would imagine. And we are broadcasting from EST Global HQ, coming to you from the Dinner Theater District.
Okay. I'm glad you're calling it that.
Something's got to stick here.
Well, we'll see.
The off-topic topic for William Huff was, what do you think Corey Perry said during the first intermission? Wrong answers only. Safety Bob says, Corey Perry to the team, guys, smarten up and stop playing like pipsqueak wimps.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. William Mike Spear didn't say anything, but he started singing Lay It on the Line.
Yeah, somebody else put that he was like, I'll stop once we score, probably. You can't read?
Yeah. You can imagine what they're about.
Yeah, I can imagine what they're about. All right, fun stuff there. Drew Remenda is going to join us at the top of the hour. San Jose Sharks analyst who, of course, keeps a very close eye on the Edmonton Oilers. Let's dive into Jay's play of the day.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
Presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app, with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues: NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit today with the promo code YAG50 and get an EST exclusive $50 free bet to get started.
Keeping it simple, Reid. Locking this one in for the CFL tonight. And I'm riding with the Montreal Alouettes. This line has been dropping. What's it dropping like?
Like it's hot?
Dropping like Bobrovsky's glove hand. I don't know. Look, Matthew Schultz is the starter for Ottawa. Drew Brown is out.
Brown's out already.
Matthew Schultz has been a journeyman quarterback in the CFL for a few years. I believe he started in 2017.
Okay.
He's thrown 21 touchdowns in his career and 20 interceptions. I think against his pumped up version of the Montreal Alouettes and that defense that they have, I mean, last week was a small sample size, but they looked good. So that's what it is. Montreal, a 6-point favorite, and I'm taking it. It was -120. It's been boosted to -109, so almost at even money. That's Jay's play of the day. Head over to playalberta.ca, click on EST specials, and you'll see quite a few, a variety.
Yeah, there are
a bouquet of options.
A good variety there for sure.
Dusty's already got a few plays on there for tomorrow's game. So one of them, he's got McDavid. Oilers win. McDavid 2+ points. Draisaitl 1+ goals.
Oh, wow.
That was boosted to +320. And he's got a simple one. McDavid goal in Game 5 is +140.
Where's that one?
That's an.
There's the early bird and Dusty's. Right. Okay. A McDavid goal. McDavid hasn't scored in this series, has he? You'd think he will at some point. Or does he have one? I thought he hadn't scored yet in the series. Because wasn't Stephen A. Smith saying he had 0 goals on 13 shots?
Stephen A. Smith.
Like, why? Okay.
Uh-oh.
I understand he's a sports commentator.
You're talking about how he called out Connor McDavid,
Yes.
essentially. With PK Subban.
What did PK say? I read the quote. I didn't actually see the
He
bit.
he said that they just didn't show up in Game 3.
No, they got hammered.
They did. And that the big guns didn't show up either.
Okay.
And then Stephen A. Smith doubled down and said that pretty much calling out Connor McDavid throughout his, he's the best player in the world, but he can't get it done in the playoffs. Oh, maybe Connor McDavid listened to that.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe that's what Corey Perry played for them at. It's just
that would be funny.
Turned it on in the locker room.
Yeah, McDavid has not scored in this series. He has 6 assists, so he's pretty good. He's made some spectacular plays. Yeah, he had a bad Game 3. I don't know. Look, this isn't. Stephen A. Smith just shouldn't talk about it, quite frankly. Well, what did he say? So he has 0 goals on 13 shots. Okay, he's not shooting free throws. Like 0 goals on 13 shots would actually happen quite regularly.
Yeah.
Like if a player has a 8% shooting percentage, he's going to, or whatever. Like that's, I don't know. It's just a weird, but this is the thing though. Hockey has star players, but more players contribute. I mean, I would associate Stephen A. Smith primarily with basketball and primarily with American-based teams,
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't like if SGA was averaging 4 points a game in the finals. It's a little different.
But it is also directly out of the Stephen A. Smith playbook of takes that are meant to agitate.
Right. So I guess he's won. He's got us talking about him.
There you go. Got a limerick that came in from Mark from Hope.
Oh, my goodness.
That's at BC, right?
Hope, BC?
Is that on the Coca-Cola?
Unless there's another Hope somewhere.
In Game 4, the Oilers dug themselves a hole. Perry then preached to save the Oilers' soul. The Oilers then came out inspired, saying, Panthers, we will not expire. Celebration commence! Another Draisaitl goal.
Who's that from?
Mark from Hope.
I don't think he's written one before, has he?
I don't know.
That's amazing. Gager just yelled in. Doesn't sound like it.
Hey, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, give me a topic for a limerick on the spot. Give me a topic.
Get that music going
on
here.
The spot limerick.
Okay. Joaquin Gage is still here. He's just sitting over there chilling like a villain. And I want a limerick about beer.
Oh, a limerick about beer. Okay. Would you like a stout, ale, pilsner, or lager? On Sunday, maybe you can grab one for your father. You can raise a glass, maybe offer some sass, and then look up the stats of Jaromir Jagr.
Oh, baby. Good job. Did you see Jaromir Jagr was on the...
wasn't he talking to McDavid?
TNT?
I saw a photo of him talking to McDavid after the game.
He was on the TNT broadcast. I don't know what intermission it was on, but you know how they started that broadcast?
No.
That segment? They gave a round of clicks.
Did they really?
For Jaromir
stole
Jagr.
It from us.
They've taken it from EST.
They've stolen it. They've grabbed it from us.
Well, it's good to know we have fans.
Yeah, well, we do. I'm sure the TNT people watch us a lot because we're TNT Dynamite, baby. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino. featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. We're going to get to some comments from Chris Knobloch and Matthias Ekholm. Dustin Nielson scheduled to join us around 5 o'clock. We're going to have our Fired Up segment for Gemco. We're both fired up about something stemming from last night's game, though not specific to last night's game. Something, I guess, like inspired by last night's game in the Stanley Cup Final, but then bigger picture issues. Something, a couple of things that have us fired up and maybe a little bit annoyed. We're not going to lie to you.
Oh, very annoyed. I plan to tee off on something here.
No, that's fine by me.
Quite aggressively.
As you should.
Yeah, it's Friday. I'm fired up.
I will tell you, I'm not going to use this for my fired up. There's a Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final in Edmonton on a Saturday night tomorrow.
Jeez.
I mean, this is maybe once in a lifetime, or once every not very often.
It's almost unbelievable.
It's believable. It's just rare. That's all I'm saying. Oh my goodness.
Is that your favorite word?
What, unbelievable?
Yeah.
That's one of my least favorite words, Jay. Thanks for asking. That is one of my least favorite words. Actually, my fired up is perhaps about another one of my least favorite terms, or one that's overused or used improperly.
Oh, these are always...
People know it's like, if you're going to use a term, at least use it properly.
These are great.
I think you're going to like it. Well, maybe you won't.
So then I should take out in my fired up that I'm talking about someone who left their feet?
And his height. What was the height of his jump? He supposedly jumped 3 feet off. He supposedly left his feet.
It's unbelievable.
By 3 feet. That would be unbelievable. If someone left their feet, that would be unbelievable.
That would be gory.
If someone left their feet and then landed perfectly again on their feet and reattached.
That would hurt. If you jumped and your feet just stayed and you left your feet.
Yeah.
Do you think you could land it and execute the perfect?
Probably not.
That would be hard.
Probably not. All right, here's the 4 o'clock break. Drew Remenda when we get back. Thanks for checking us out this afternoon.
The Lock Shop.
But as I was saying, the amount of bad takes, and I don't know what it is by some people in the media. It's like a competition to get out there first and declare a team dead or over. Like Biz last night. Oil got nothing. They have no room. Anaconda chokehold. Game over. That one did not age well. Have we not seen this team come back before?
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you aren't wearing a Connect belt, what are you waiting for? A one-size-fits-all belt with a smooth, hole-free track system makes it adjustable for the perfect fit. With fully customizable options, you can choose your belt color, material, and buckle to suit your style. 100% Canadian-owned and operated, Connect belts are designed for work, everyday wear, and even a round of golf. Check out the large selection of men's and women's styles at www.knktbelts.com. Connect belts, the perfect fit every time.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
CFL action has Montreal on the road in Ottawa. Kickoff at 5:30. And out in BC, Nathan Rourke needs some more tests on his pulled oblique he suffered last night, being pulled in the fourth quarter against the Bombers. His Week 3 availability is not confirmed. And in Winnipeg, TSN's Farhan Lalji has reported that Brady Oliveira could miss multiple weeks with a shoulder injury. Oliveira still needs testing to confirm. The NBA Finals continue tonight. Pacers challenging the Thunder in Game 4. OKC trailing 2-1 in the series. Tip-off at 6:30. While on the road, the 3-5 Stingers play the River Lions. That game starts at 5. EST's audio streams joining the game midway through the contest at 6 o'clock. Baseball has 15 games. Toronto on the road in Philadelphia to open a 2-game series. Kevin Gausman starts for the Jays' first pitch at 4:45. And Riverhawks also play, meeting the Northhawks for the first of 3 games. Listen to the action right here on EST's audio streams. We join that one at 7:30. While in Sylvan Lake, the Cactus Rats meet the Gulls. Action starting just after 5. And at the U.S. Open, JJ Spawn is still atop the leaderboard at 3 under through 15 holes in round 2. Thomas Dietrich and Tristan Lawrence sitting 1 shot back. Dietrich through 12 and Lawrence playing 9. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. So tomorrow, here's what's going on. Hello Hockey, 10 a.m. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, 10 a.m. until noon, and then Tom. He might need the new link. Coob, is there a new link from this morning? Sorry, we're just trying to.
Coob can do it. Coob's the man. He can get on the link. He's a link master.
Okay,
Mark from Hope, by the way, is not from Hope, BC. He's from the Hope Mission in Edmonton. So good on you, Mark. Thanks for sending that in. Amos Moses says, fun fact, Hope, BC is where they filmed First Blood with Sylvester Stallone, I believe.
Yeah, the introduction of Rambo. What was I saying? Yeah, we're going to get to Drew Remenda in a second here. We're just connecting with him. So then tomorrow, Hello Hockey, 10 a.m. to noon. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell. 5 p.m., Tom Gazzola live from the Canadian Ice House in Ice District. So for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, I'll be on the postgame show.
You're not going to the
I don't know. I don't think I don't know if they need
Come
me on
on,
the
go get
show.
some salt and pepper wings.
I may stop in there. I don't
Tommy's
know if I'll be
tab.
on.
Tommy's tab.
Yeah, use it on Tommy's tab. But I'll be on. I will be on after the game for sure for Reid's Read for Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club.
I sure look forward to seeing your beautiful face on Reid's Read on the GCL Diesel postgame show.
That makes one person. That makes one person.
I disagree. Technically the Oilers have pretty much played 5 games already.
Yeah, with the extra time.
They've played 58 minutes and 52 seconds of overtime in this series.
How much?
58 minutes and 52 seconds.
So it's almost been an extra game. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, still thinking about that. Not going to... I mean, I guess tomorrow it's on to the next game, but it's just... Games like that don't happen that often. What do you think, Stetcher? What do you think about Troy Stetcher?
I think Troy Stetcher will be a scratch. I think John Klingberg will play, and I think they'll use the same forwards. I don't see Arvidsson coming back.
No, I don't as well. I thought that line generated quite a bit. I thought they were in the mix. And I'll just say this about everybody. What they're talking about Troy Stetcher right now is the giveaway that led to a goal. But Troy Stetcher took a high stick.
Yes, very much.
And I said this earlier to you, but if I felt that, or if you feel something on your head, you need to make sure you act like you felt something on your head. If you fall and cover your head, they're likely to call that, no?
No, I don't think they would have called it.
Why?
Because I think they already didn't see the high stick.
How could you not see it? You could probably hear it from where the ref was standing.
Well, okay, but a ref can't say I heard something and call it. I think they just blew it. I think they just blew the call. I just think we just got an ace.
Oh, chest bump.
Ace at the U.S. Open. Coob, can you tell him I just emailed him a new link? If he can try that. Okay. We'll see what we can get going on with here with Drew. Yeah, I just think they blew it. I just think they totally missed the call. You know what I mean? Clearly there was a high stick. Clearly Verhaeghe slapped him in the visor. And I just don't think they can't go, well, I heard something. I mean, they hear sticks getting banged around all the time.
Well, and talking about reffing, I mean, what we both just thought was kind of when you said, okay, they're not out of this, they're rather right back in it, was on Nuge's power play goal. But did you not think that hooking penalty on Sam Bennett was rather soft as well?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I did not see a penalty there.
The one where
Bouchard.
No, that's what frustrated me.
Yeah,
was they call these little slashes on the hands all season long, and then when Bouchard gets drilled from behind, or there's a high stick to the face, or whatever, they don't call it. That's what irritates me about the officiating. Again, it's not if you miss 50-50 calls or make a tough decision that could have gone either way, right? It's when there's an obvious penalty, an obvious hit from behind, or a high stick crashes off someone's visor and they don't call it. That's why refs get criticized, I think.
Yeah, fair to say.
All right. We got Drew finally. All right. He's worth the wait. San Jose Sharks TV and radio broadcaster.
What did I call him? The Sultan of Saskatoon.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to go for that from now on.
I think you should.
I found out something disturbing the other day, though. Last time we talked, I told you that I was in the Paris of the Prairies, which is Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. But then I got a text message from a good friend who showed that Kansas City, Missouri is called the Paris of the Plains.
Oh.
And I am right now trying to define and get distinction whether there's a difference between the prairies and the plains. I lived in Kansas City. I coached in Kansas City. It's very beautiful. City of fountains, by the way. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Huh.
So I'm a little conflicted right now, but I'll take the Sultan of Saskatoon any day. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's a good one. While both prairies and plains refer to flat, open landscapes, prairies are a specific type of grassland characterized by tall grasses, fertile soil, and a temperate climate, whereas plains are a broader term encompassing various flatland biomes, including grassland, steppes, and even deserts or rainforests.
There we go.
So it's clearly explained.
Well, there it is. So there. Thank you, Reid. You've made my day.
Well, I think that's an AI answer, so that they could just be manipulating us to control the world. That's also very possible.
Wasn't that referenced in Wheat Kings? The sundown and the Paris of the Prairies?
Yes. The Brandon Wheat Kings. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
Kelly McCrimmon.
Who did you coach in Kansas City?
Kansas City Blades, the IHL franchise. They were the Sharks farm team. We lost 10 in a row and I got fired. I was coaching with the late, great Vasily Tikhonov. I love Vasily. Just what a great, great human being. And he got fired. They brought in Paul McLean. And at the time, I think we were out of the playoff spot. When they brought in Paul McLean, they went to the finals. So it might have been coaching.
Well, I don't know.
Were
you the head coach or were you an assistant?
No, I was the associate coach, but Vasily didn't speak very good English.
Okay, so was that the Tikhonov that coached the CCCP?
That was his son.
That was because I knew there was a son, right? Okay.
Yeah, Vasily. He passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago.
How did you translate? How did he coach? What happened?
It was like this, okay? And again, love the guy. Boys, tonight we play Peoria. Very good team. Skate very fast. We got to skate very fast. Let's go. Boom.
That was it.
I swear to you. And so the guys started, the guys were waiting, right, for that clap. He did a guys tonight, Long Beach, very good team. We had to skate very fast, be very good. Okay? And he clapped all the time. The guys would wait. The guys would all have their guns off and wait and go, same time. Silly goes, Drew, come here. Why they always clap? I said, because they're having some fun with Silly. It's good. It's okay. They like you. Don't worry about it. Great guy. Loved him. Unfortunately, he left us too early.
Okay, so how did he run a practice? Even if he had to go through you didn't speak. Well, maybe you do speak Russian. I don't know.
No, it was repetition. 2-on-1 transition, 3-on-2 down low, 3-on-2 down low transition all the time. Then power play penalty kill. He was a big believer. See, he'd say it to me all the time. Drew, repetition. And you know what? He was absolutely right. Then he'd leave after practice and he'd go get his son, Victor, named after his dad, and bring him back to Kemper Arena and drill the you-know-what out of him. Like, honestly, just the poor kid. He was just a little guy. And Vasily would drill him. Hey, turn him into an NHLer. He played for Arizona, turned him into a professional hockey player. Great kid, great family. But, that was a lot of work the poor guy put in. Vasily was a taskmaster.
Oh, my goodness. What kind of coverage did the team get in Kansas City?
Besides me talking about it on the radio every once in a while, not very much.
Was it? Did they talk about the Chiefs all year long?
And the Royals.
And the Royals were
Chiefs and Royals. Yeah.
Though that year the Royals would have already been in decline, weren't they? Until they. Trying to remember. This was mid-90s, I assume?
I tell you we were out of the playoffs and lost 10 in a row?
Right.
You looked at a lot of coverage.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
You can tell Jay's face. He's enjoying this conversation like nobody else.
No, I love it. I love it. Honestly, I'm just trying to think. So that was, wasn't Joe Montana? Like, when were you there? Sorry, Drew.
In the Bay Area, I was 91 to 96.
And then
the
Kansas
Sharks.
City.
And 95 to 96 with Kansas City. Yeah.
Okay. They had Marcus Allen at that point, right?
Yeah. Great team. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're a good team.
Marty Schottenheimer?
We weren't.
Les says Reid needs to get Drew to do a show of stories about times he was fired. Well, we could. We could.
I've got plenty. I've been fired.
Oh, he just froze. Oh, man. Okay, we'll reconnect because we want to talk about the Oilers a little bit. Drew's a great storyteller.
Oh, he's back,
and he's like a lot of people in hockey. And I've learned this over the years, and Drew knows this because he used to, when Drew kind of saw me earlier in my talk show host career, and I said, Drew, like, I sometimes I feel like I'm making fun of people because I noticed if you ask hockey people about something great they did, they just deflect. Oh yeah, well, I was on a good team. And you ask them a story about a horrible experience, and you get like a 7-minute story. It's just the nature of hockey people, I think.
Yeah. Next time we talk, I'll tell you the story of my father who fired me twice in one day, and that's not a lie. But anyway,
that's a good teaser. That's a good teaser.
What a teaser!
So we use the word hope and the words hope and belief a lot when we talk about hockey. Our buddy Rob Brown always used the word belief for sure.
Yeah.
Did you? And I know you're a broadcaster, but I know you have a soft spot for the Oilers, even though you're with the Sharks.
No, I don't.
Did you have hope and belief for the Oilers after the first period?
Well, I worked for George Kingston when I first got to the National Hockey League as assistant coach with the Sharks, and he used to say, "Hope hockey is losing hockey." So, and I always believed that. But I didn't believe that the Edmonton Oilers were going to play as badly as they did in Game 3. Let's face it, Game 3, they played a very immature game for a team that had been to the Stanley Cup Finals the year before against the very team they're playing. And what they had gone through the last couple of years in the playoffs, they had really matured and really evolved in their game. They were a team, and I heard Rob Brown talking about this the other day. Rob Brown talking about how nothing really phases them anymore. They don't get rattled anymore. They just keep going, like the Florida Panthers. Two teams are very similar. Paul Maurice was talking about that after the game last night. So I was very surprised at their game in Game 3. After that, and in Saskatoon, guys, there are nothing but Oiler fans. Trust me, they're Oiler fans. I got Oiler fans across the street that when the Oilers score, they're a little bit delayed according to what I'm watching. Then this big hoot goes out and they're cheering like crazy. There's a lot of Oiler fans in Saskatoon, and everybody wants to talk to me because apparently I know a little bit about the game of hockey, a little bit being the key. When you look at, and I said the same thing, well, they're not going to play as badly as they did in Game 3. They'll be much better. And what I don't think a lot of people understand about hockey players, and you guys do because you've been around them, nobody lets go of a loss quicker than a hockey player. It's like, yeah, it's one game. When the Sharks made the playoffs first time, it was our third year. Kevin Constantine's our head coach. I'm one of the assistants. And we brought in Bob Airy. We brought in Gaetan Duchesne, Jamie Baker, Todd Ellick, Igor Larionov, Sergei Makarov, Jeff Norton. We had a pretty darn good veteran team. But we made the playoffs. And we're sitting there, and Bobby Airy had called a meeting. He was our captain. And he just wrote down, he said, these guys, I just wanted to kind of bring us all together and bring your attention to this. It's 16 things it takes to win the Stanley Cup, because Bobby had won the Stanley Cup in Pittsburgh with Mario and the boys. And he puts it down and he said, it's 4 wins to win a series, 16 wins to win the cup. One game is just one game. And in other words, just because Pittsburgh or Florida beats you 6-1 doesn't mean you're going to play and you're going to lose the rest of it. Momentum doesn't carry on from game to game. You have to establish it each and every game. And so I knew that they were going to play better last night. I didn't know that they were going to come back like they did. I thought for 40 minutes after the first period, the Oilers were terrific. But their terrificness comes from getting after the puck. I think we talked about it last time, guys. You've got to get after the puck. You got to check in this game if you want to be successful in this game, especially in the playoffs.
Drew Remenda joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Drew, you would know this as well as I do, but Reid, he's a smart guy. He says some, for the most time, he says some really profound things.
Yeah. Yes, I've been around. Yeah.
And I was taken aback slightly today, earlier in the show, when Reid said something and it just in my head went, oh, wow, that's quite profound. I want your reaction to something Reid said just earlier on the show here. He said the Oilers are hard to beat if they don't beat themselves. What do you think of that?
I think that's very profound. And I would say, though, that the Oilers and the Panthers are very much in the same boat in that regard. As I said, 2 very evenly matched teams. And most good teams, the way that they win games is they stay in the moment. They don't think about the result. They think about the process. They work with that process. They reestablish. They try to give their game traction as the game starts. This is what we do as a team when we're successful. So they get on that right away. And you could look at Game 3 and go to Reid's point and go, yeah, he was absolutely right, because they absolutely beat themselves in Game 3. Reid, you were talking about the penalties, and the penalties are penalties. You can bitch and complain about them all you want if you're a player, and every player does. And you are seeing refereeing that is, you can, to blame the refs is ridiculous on anything. It really is. It's an uncontrollable. Don't worry about the uncontrollables. Control the controllables. That gets you out of your focus. And I thought in Game 3, the Oilers beat themselves by focusing on the referees. And then they tried to take some sort of revenge, even though the game was 4-1, and we know this team can come back. And so they did beat themselves in Game 3. In Game 4, they didn't do that. In Game 4, down 3-0, they went back to work. They started going with checking, got the early power play goal, then they got their game going. And then overtime, you got a big save then off the crossbar, and then boom, a lucky goal, but luck is part of winning in the playoffs. So yeah, I would agree with Reid on that the Oilers, when they are on their game, they are a formidable team, and they're not the same team that we saw 3-4 years ago that tried to outscore their problems. They're a team that works to solve their problems.
All right. But speaking of the penalties, I'll ask you this, though. Is the penalty kill salvageable with 2 or 3 games left in the season? Or is it just all about don't take stupid penalties?
Don't take stupid penalties. Stop. So first off, I don't know about you guys, but in this entire playoffs, not just this series, and in this entire playoffs, and all 32 teams that got into the playoffs, 32? 16? 16 teams that got in the playoffs. If 32, I would have been in the playoffs. So all the 16 teams in the playoffs. I think I'm watching at times the World Cup of Soccer. Oh! For God's sake, people, have some decency, have some self-worth. Stop flopping all over. Like, I'm honestly, I'm shocked that there's not more whiplash cases going into the trainer's room for guys throwing their head back like they do when a stick gives them a shot across the head. It's absolutely ridiculous. And so that part bothers the hell out of me, because it's become ridiculous throughout the National Hockey League. It's not the Oilers, it's not just the Panthers, it's every friggin' team. And it's got to stop. But as far as the penalties go and the penalty kill goes, it's really, isn't it funny how last year you couldn't score, you couldn't even come close to scoring on the Oilers on the penalty kill. It was so good. They pressured up so much. But I don't know if it's salvageable. I think it's just a matter of, okay, let's try to do the smartest thing when it comes to the penalty kill, which is stay out of the penalty box. Chris Knobloch last night talked about it after the game, another high sticking penalty. And he said, which is making me mad. And Chris, as you guys already know, he's very stoic. Yeah. But you can tell those reckless use of the stick penalties are causing him problems.
Well, and it's interesting, and speaking of somebody that says something profound to me once, because I suppose a hockey player could make an argument and say, look, I'm trying to body check somebody. Sometimes my stick is going to go off something and hit him in the face. But there's that stat that the Oilers have 13 high sticking penalties and the Panthers have 2. And the Panthers hit a lot. And I'll never forget when I was talking to Blake Dermott, the Double E analyst that I used to work with on Ched. And, the team was taking a lot of penalties. And I said, well, but if you're a D lineman, you might go offside once a game. And he goes, Reid, hold on. You don't move until the ball moves. How hard is that? And I was like, well, that's a good point if you look at it that way. I don't need to try to get a jump. I just don't move until the ball moves. And I won't give the other. So with the Evander Kane, it's like, just don't body check a guy with your stick diagonal across your own chest. Just have it down, and you limit the chance of taking a silly penalty. Anyway.
But how much nowadays throughout hockey do we talk about or teach body checking? And we talk about hits all the time. The idea is body checking. Get your shoulder inside, play inside the man, and what you're trying to do is remove the puck or remove the player from the puck so you can get it. But now everybody comes in with the cross check on the back. Everybody comes in with the stick on the hands. And that's why the NHL is trying to get rid of them. And it's not just the Oilers. It is in this series, they're getting more penalties in that regard. But you've got to be cognizant of the fact. Part of your focus in the game, if you've taken penalty after penalty after penalty, is you got to think to yourself, I got to stop hurting my team. This isn't for you as the individual, it's for your team. When you're taking penalties, you're hurting your team. So get your stick down on the ice. Lead with your stick, but do not bring the stick to be the first thing you lead with. Lead with the stick on puck.
Yeah.
But that's...
Well, even the way Darnell took that tripping penalty.
Like, I've been calling that all year, though.
I know. No, I'm saying, like, he should know better, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't drag your leg behind a guy. Like, give him a shove.
That's his jiu-jitsu, kick it into gear. That's his martial arts. He uses that trip and then down. He's gonna get top position on you there.
Drew, we love having you on. We should find time next week when there's a resolution, which will be happy or sad for Oil Country.
We call it a resolution, are we?
Yeah. When there's a resolution,
if Florida wins, it's a resolution. If the Oilers win, it's a celebration.
That's right. And I should let you know. I don't know if you've missed it there. The Saskatchewan Roughriders won their first game and they play tomorrow.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask you, Drew. Is Roland Milligan? Is he out for sure for this week?
Sure.
Yeah. Drew's gonna text him and let us know.
Yeah, I need.
Wait. somebody's coming in the lineup. Running back. Kadeem Carey's coming in the lineup.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And he was, because
But AJ Ouellette was dressed in practicing all week.
Yeah, but he had a bonk on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Oh,
You're the best, Drew.
Drew, you are the best. Thanks for, as always, being so generous with your time. We love talking with you. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. It's going to be incredible here. And yeah, there's a game tomorrow.
The other game.
Well, enjoy both games tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, the Oilers game and the Riders game, double screen. And yeah, we'll bug you next week when we have a quote unquote resolution.
Okay, boys. Good talking to you again.
Right on. That's Drew Remenda checking in. What did you call him? The Sultan of Saskatoon?
The Sultan of Saskatoon.
The Sultan of Saskatoon. We love having him on. Great stories. Great perspective on some of the X's and O's and little details of the game.
We should go drive and do a show from his house.
Or when he's driving back to San Jose, why doesn't he come through Edmonton?
Yeah.
That would also work.
Bring him in. Can you imagine a 3-hour show with Drew?
I could.
That would be
a blast.
spectacular.
It would be a blast.
That would be
he's
spectacular.
He's a lot of fun. But I mean, really, like if the Oilers, I mean, we may just have to live with a 2/3 Oilers PK, but if you're taking 3 penalties instead of 6 or whatever ratio you want to go to, you're making it a little easier on yourself.
Well said.
Well, thanks.
Need some thumbs, Reid.
Well, we got over 100 thumbs.
Yeah.
So we are on pace for over 200, just barely. So get in there and click if you're watching on YouTube. Also, thank you if you're checking us out on one of the audio streams. But if you have a sec to pop into YouTube, give us a thumbs up. We want to get to 155 for a double word of the day, which is fun. And we want to get to our what's been the standard in the playoffs of 200. So get in there and click, click, click away.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
Well,
Cool.
You guys singing along to that. That's both both honoring and shocking. Better do a limerick. We're a little bit. Did we do Bronco Knicks?
Broncos Nick.
Did we do Bronco Knicks? The Stanley Cup Finals are nuts. More turns than Florida's ice have ruts. The Oilers prevailed. Florida fans wailed. What a ride, folks. Hold on to your butts.
Wow, good one.
Was there a shot of a Florida fan in tears before Florida tied it? What was he? Was he crying, or was he just?
It did look like he was crying. Yeah, it did look like he was crying, but I think he was just yawning and tearing up because it cut off right when he was like about to finish the yawn. But it did look like he was crying a little bit. He wasn't.
Did you see the Panthers fans after the game that were? There was a very nice shot of 2 Oilers fans shaking hands with some Panthers fans.
I've talked to some people.
I like to see
I've talked to people who went down for games there last year.
Yeah,
and they said it was quite civil, quite sportsmanlike.
Hospitable.
There was not that experience going to Vancouver last year in the playoffs for a lot of Oilers fans. But I know a guy who went to Game 7, and he said certainly they were jubilant after the game, but if there was an interaction, it was
respectful.
Incredible series. Yeah. We lost last year. Now we won. Maybe you guys will be back and win. Who knew that they'd be playing each other again? Which is good. I mean, I appreciate fan passion and fan enthusiasm, and I know there's going to be some chirping. Most of it, hopefully, is lighthearted or in the moment, and you forget about it. But as I often, like sometimes if I see somebody or somebody's getting overboard, I'll be like, dude, are you playing? Like,
right,
chill,
chill.
Settle down. Like, you know, you're in no physical combat with this person. Let them cheer, you cheer, leave it alone.
Just say, settle down, bruh.
Yeah, settle down, bruh. All right, 780-218-9999 is how you can text us, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We got some comments from Chris Knobloch. We have fired up for Gemco. Dustin's going to check in from Hamilton. Here comes the Coop.
NBA action has the Pacers and Thunders tipping off for Game 4 of the Finals. Indiana leading the series 2-1. Action starting at 6:30. And the Stingers also take the court against the River Lions in Niagara. Tip-off at 5. EST's audio streams joining the game midway through the action at 6 o'clock. In Boston, the Bruins have acquired defenseman Victor Soderstrom from the Blackhawks for Ryan Mast and a 2025 7th-rounder. Staying out east, Ottawa hosts Montreal. Elsewhere, BC's Nathan Rourke took An awkward spill last night against the Bombers, being pulled midway through the fourth quarter. Rourke's availability is up in the air for week 3, requiring further evaluation on his pulled oblique. In the majors, Toronto and Philadelphia start their 2-game series. Kevin Gausman gets the ball for the Jays. First pitch at 4:45. Riverhawks also play, meeting the Northpaws from Kelowna. Listen to the action on EST's audio streams. We'll be joining that one at 7:30. At the U.S. Open, JJ Spawn and Thomas Dietrich share first at 3-under. Spawn playing 17 holes with Dietrich through 13 on the day. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The show rolls on after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to the Banquet and dive into banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Care at all? Oh, I don't think so. Banger.
Is this yours?
Yeah.
Is this one of your songs? What's this one
This
again?
Sellout Queen, Reid. Come on, I thought you'd know that.
I really don't remember a lot of music. I
Well-
would say I don't remember any songs.
Drew Remenda probably would.
You think he has one of your CDs?
I think he does.
That'd be amazing if Drew Remenda listened to North Shore but didn't know it was you who was the lead singer.
Wouldn't that be?
That would
Can
be.
you imagine
That would
if
be amazing.
All this time, Drew Remenda was actually a fan of mine.
of Brody / North Shore.
Gosh, that would make my day.
That would be stunning.
You know what made my day today?
What?
Joaquin Gage.
Let's go, girls.
He made the most phenomenal, tasty, scrumdiddlyumptious wings.
Well, where were they? I didn't get any. What was I doing?
Sorry, bro.
Well, seriously, where was I? I didn't even see them.
Oil Stream.
Oh, it was during the. I was on from noon to 1 today.
They were so good. I'm sorry you didn't.
Is
get
that
to
the
try
best
them.
thing you've eaten today?
What's that mean?
Was that the best thing you've eaten today?
By far.
Okay. What's the best chip you've eaten today?
Oh, baby.
I picked up some chips today.
Reid went, you know what those chips remind me of? Elementary school, track and field day. That was when they'd have the tuck shop and you'd have you could buy chips. And I would always buy Mexican chili. Old Dutch. And Reid brought in a bag today and I was taken back to my childhood.
So I love Mexican chili chips. They're not everywhere. They're at the...
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a Shell or an Esso down the street here.
Neither. It's a Petrocan.
It's a Petrocan. I plugged everybody.
There you go.
Except for Hughes. So I was like, I'll bring some... Because, we all bring food in to share. Like, I'll bring you baking. You're probably better at bringing food than I am, but I try to bring stuff sometimes.
You did great today.
But I thought, okay, I'll get some the nerd clusters. And I was like, I'll get a bag of chips for Jay and I and other people to pick away at. And I was like, well, they have Mexican chili. And then I was thinking, what if nobody else likes Mexican chili?
Those are Hernan's favorite chips.
I didn't know that because they got a little bit of heat to them, and they can get a little, the dusty on your fingers and stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, I'll just bring them. So when I worked at Blockbuster, so this was 30 years ago, sometimes I'd be working when the old Dutch guy came by. He's usually there during the day when it wasn't very busy, so he'd drop off the chips for the store. And one day I was like, you know what I like? I can't always find them is those Mexican chili chips. He's like, I can do a separate invoice for you. You pay me, and I'll give you 12 small bags of Mexican chili chips. So every few weeks or months, I don't know how many times I did it, maybe 3 or 4, I'd get a dozen Mexican chili chips. And you know what?
Betcha that wasn't reported to old Dutch.
I think maybe I just was paying him. Who knows? And they're rippled, right?
Yes.
You could dip them. I would dip them in dill pickle dip.
Oh, Reid, that's next level.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Wow. Well, I have that really good dill pickle hummus I've brought in.
Well, yeah, you could. I don't like the hummus very much though, but
it's so dippy. It's like it's hard to tell it's a hummus.
Yeah,
but I guess the chickpeas are.
Yeah, I got to be careful with chickpeas because I kind of have gotten mild reactions to them. So we don't want another allergy situation. It's amazing that in the almost year I've worked here, it was not me who's had the worst allergic reaction.
Oh,
it was you.
That was awful.
That was not good. What was that, hazelnut day? Nutella?
No, it was a Ferrero Rocher donut, for goodness sake.
Oh, right.
Almost took me down, Reid.
Sorry, buddy. But what's in Ferrero Rocher?
Hazelnut.
And that's the worst nut for you.
They used to, at Southgate Mall, in the Christmas season, they'd have a Ferrero Rocher tower.
Right.
In the center of the mall, and I'd walk into the mall and I'd immediately start stuffing up. And
because the smell
sneezing.
would bug you.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Sorry, buddy.
Think about Jay.
Think about Jay, everybody. My goodness. Time to go into the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. All right.
That was a long one.
Thanks, buddy. Chris Knobloch was asked this morning about the process of pulling Skinner and replacing him with Pickard last night.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult decision. You ultimately you're saying that you're putting the blame on one guy, and that's not fair. That's not because no one else is getting pulled from the game, and but we felt that we needed to change something, and obviously it worked last night, but obviously it doesn't always. We need to just play better in front of whoever is in net. In second, third, and overtime, we did play much better than we did in the first.
Yeah, Skinner did make some pretty good saves despite allowing 3 goals. Pickard made some awesome saves. Didn't have a lot of work in the second period, but he had to stop that breakaway.
That was early too.
That was. I should have that written down. Where's my notes? I can read them when I'm making them, and then pick stop. Here's how I write: 8:34 left in the second. Pick stop Lundell after Wallman giveaway. So,
wasn't that Nurse that gave that away?
I have it as Wallman in my notes. Huh. But yeah, he made some good saves. You know who else made a really good save? Was Matthias Ekholm when he blocked Matthew Tkachuk with 1:19 left in the second period.
Yeah, it was kind of a 3-on-3 that turned into a 4-on-3, and that's when you kind of have to leave somebody open. And then unfortunately, that was kind of my guy that was open. So no, I didn't even know that the net was empty or anything. I was just in the moment trying to get as big as possible, and obviously me and Nuge came together, and then it ended up hitting me, and it was obviously a big block at the time, but yeah, haven't thought too much more about it. It was a block, and sometimes you need those.
Well, What did Drew say? Nobody's better than hockey players about forgetting about a game. So I don't think Ekholm was sitting there the whole game excited. Wow, I blocked one.
Right.
I did my job. What's up on the next shift? Chris Knobloch on what changed for the second period yesterday.
I think we just played with a little more passion, urgency. I think urgency is a very important word there. Just winning those battles. In the first period, we didn't have the battle, or didn't win those battles. We didn't have the puck. We're in defending, and we're just pretty much surviving each shift. As the game went on, the second period, we were able to get a little bit of life. That power play goal definitely huge catalyst, gave us a lot of life on the bench, a little bit of excitement, and we played with a little more that urgency. And, going forward, we're going to need that.
All right. Clearly they were not good in the first period. Got it cranked up for the second period and figured it out somehow in overtime. We're talking about penalties, avoidable penalties. Knobloch on high sticks.
Well, we just got to control our sticks. It's the amount of high sticking penalties that we've had. I think that's a big part of it. And we can control our sticks, and then we're not in the box as much as we are. We would like to never take a penalty. We don't want to put them on the power play. We feel that we're better when we can get everybody involved and not having those long stretches of killing penalties, because then we pretty much ice certain guys if they're not out there regularly. Going forward, taking 3 or 4 penalties in the first period, very rarely are we going to be able to survive that and win. Last night was fortunate that we were able to survive that, but something that we can't do.
All right. Yeah, I think it's basically saying what we've been talking about. Certain penalties are avoidable. The Oilers have to avoid those. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Share the link with somebody else. Say, hey, here's a text you could write. Oh, hey, Greg, haven't talked to you in 5 years. How you been? Hey, I assume you still follow the Oilers. There's this station in town, Edmonton Sports Talk. Here's this show they got going on right now. Why not check them out, give them a thumbs up, and you text the link over to your buddy Greg, who you haven't seen in 5 years. Give us a thumbs up. All right, we got to work for 155 here. It's Friday. It's a funky Friday feeling, I think. It's a triple F Friday. No, funky Friday feeling. And it's Friday the 13th. And it's also Friday the 13th.
Could be.
Let's push for 155. Let's get there, and then we can worry about 200.
Yeah.
But we need a big rally just to get to 155 ASAP. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery, all in one place. With easy access to real money games, you can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. All right, we'll have more from Knobloch as we move along through the show. We're with you until 6 o'clock. We are going to get fired up for Gemco. Jay's going to talk about stop signs. He'll explain in a couple minutes.
On the court, the Pacers look to tie their NBA Finals series against the Pacers at 2 apiece. Tip-off for Game 4 is at 6:30. Meanwhile, in Niagara, the Stingers and River Lions go head-to-head. Action begins at 5. EST's audio streams joining the game midway through the action at 6 o'clock. NHL news sees the Blackhawks and Bruins with the trade. Victor Soderstrom is off to Boston in exchange for Ryan Mast in this year's 7th-round selection. In the CFL, the Alouettes and Red Blacks go at it. Kickoff at 5:30. In other news, Winnipeg's Brady Oliveira could miss multiple games with a shoulder injury, with the severity of his injury yet to be confirmed. Baseball action as the Jays and Phillies with their series opener. First pitch in just about a minute at 4:45. Kevin Gausman takes the mound for the Jays. On the road, the Riverhawks take on the North Paws. That one gets going at 6:30. EST's audio streams joining the action at 7:30. Elsewhere, round 2 play at the U.S. Open has J.J. Spaun in first at 3 under through 17, with a 3-way tie for second between Thomas Dietrich, Tristan Lawrence, and Victor Hovland at 1 under. Canadian Taylor Pendrith 3 over at the end of his day, tied for 13th. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at ParamountFlooring.ca. The fellas get fired up after we come back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Timeout Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Hope you're having a great Friday. Thrilling win for the Oilers last night. Tomorrow at 6, so I guess 6:20, they've been dropping the puck. Oilers host the Panthers in Game 5 of the Cup Final at Rogers Place. It's tied 2-2. So tomorrow on EST for live programming, we have Hello Hockey at 10 a.m. with Gazzola and Bell. They'll go until noon. And then Oil Stream pregame show presented by GCL Diesel at 5 o'clock, leading you into Game 5. Tom's going to be hosting that from the Ice House in Ice District Plaza. When's the VIP golf show, Coop?
This Sunday from 8 to 10 on either our audio streams or live here on YouTube.
Are you in for that?
I am.
Are you doing all those this year?
Every single one? Well,
actually, you're working like 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
It ain't easy being Coop.
It ain't easy being the Coop. Hey, Coop, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
We should have that.
I want to just say something here.
Okay.
Coop, I didn't hear your update because I went to the other room. If you had a tough one, you know what? It happens. And because there are some people apparently they're taking some shots at you. And I want to say you're doing a great job.
Thank you. It's really hot in here, by the way. That's my excuse.
Yeah. Coop, how long have you been in broadcasting? Like about a year officially?
Yeah, just over a year, April. Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Fantastic.
And people want to listen to the show and take shots at Coop.
Might as well take shots at all of us.
Take shots at me.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I'm 51. How many updates you do a day?
13.
13 updates a day.
Yes.
So that's 13 times 5. You do 65 a week?
Give or take.
All right. Most of them are excellent or very good. So I just want to say to people, somebody taking a shot at Coop in the chat, he's doing pretty well. And he's very new in this profession. And he's only going to get better because you already have.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's my context for that.
Beautiful. Well said.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
All right, that's all I'm going to say. Fair?
Yeah. That maybe that should have been your fired up.
Well, maybe. Well, maybe that will be my fired up. For Gemco. Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street.
Reid, if I asked you who Kevin Stubington is, would you know?
Kevin Stubington.
And Coob, you can throw that picture.
It reminds me of Moose Stubing, who was the trivia question for I don't know who Kevin Stubington is.
Kevin Stubington was a Windsor, Ontario resident. He was the creator of the small stop sign patch.
Okay.
That was put on the backs of minor hockey jerseys.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he passed away in 2016. But I wonder if Kevin Stubington, rest in peace, would be turning over in his grave watching that hit on Evan Bouchard last night. I know we just had Drew Remenda on and he said, don't moan about the rest. But this one got me a little different. And Coob, you can roll the video. We have the hit from a couple different angles. This is now it's not just is it a penalty or not? Like, this is intent to injure. This is reckless hockey by Carter Verhaeghe, who drills Evan Bouchard from behind.
Yes.
I mean, is this not textbook? And you see a referee in the frame. Reid, they got together after it and talked about it.
Yeah.
How does somebody not step up and say, this is clearly a penalty? I don't know, roughing, charging, I mean, what did you say? You thought, okay, maybe it's not a major.
Yeah.
But certainly a 2-minute minor.
Yeah.
And Reid, that to me is something that if you're watching this, as let's say you're a new fan, or you're wanting to get into the NHL playoffs.
Right.
And you're seeing that, and you're saying, well, how come that's not a penalty? And then you see Sam Bennett hardly touch Evan Bouchard, and they call that a 2-minute hooking penalty.
Right.
Maybe the NHL should put the stop signs on their jerseys. Maybe that would alleviate some of this.
Yeah, well, apparently don't hit from behind in minor hockey. But if you want to make the NHL, you better be willing to hit from behind.
Well, and when you do hit for someone from behind, make sure that you jump. Make sure you jump for extra added effect. I don't know. I don't want to make this let's pour it on the officials. It's just tiring and it's laughable. It's honestly, seeing that last night, I had to laugh out loud because there was a referee there. There's 4 officials that got together on the ice after. There's an off-ice official as well. And none of them could come together and come to a conclusion that, yes, this was a penalty.
Well, but I also think it's not just a bad decision by the on-ice officials. Like, I think they're told, like, don't call every hit from behind. Oh, like a guy can't turn into it. Oh, we still have to allow body checking. But you're right. If the stop sign was on the back of Bouchard's jersey, he would have seen it. Now, I know this is different than 7-year-olds or 12-year-olds or whatever, but that was a frustrating one to me. And you're right, contrasted with contrasted with some of the little minor hooks or slashes we see where we're like, what did he even do? Okay, I guess he got his stick in there. Those are frustrating. That was a dangerous hit on Bouchard. And yes, the Oilers have delivered some of those as well and sometimes been penalized and sometimes not. So the Oilers aren't angels when it comes to hitting. But that was a big non-call at that time of the game. And then especially since Draisaitl rightfully got an elbowing penalty a little bit later on. But you could also argue, he's just swinging his elbow. Hey, he might hit somebody. Oh, well. Oh, well, Verhaeghe's just forechecking. You might hit somebody from behind. Well, it's a penalty. And I'm glad you brought that up in the context of the stop sign. Because, again, if Bouchard was wearing a minor hockey jersey with a stop sign on it, Verhaeghe would have hit straight into that. Yeah. And he jumped. He did jump. I mean, it wasn't look, it could have been a more vicious hit. To me, it's a 2-minute penalty. Should be every day. And I don't know why the league wants to put its own players and star players at risk of getting hit like that.
Well, and you said it, and I know this is a major what if, but what if Evan Bouchard has a concussion after that, and you guys didn't call, and they didn't call a penalty?
Right.
How would you live with yourself?
I don't know what. Well, I guess they just would. But that's excellent. That's an excellent way to frame it, Jay. With the stop sign on the back of the jersey. So they're taught from little, like that picture we showed was what, Timbits?
Yeah.
Well, how old are they? Is that before 6 even? I don't even know what the categories are.
They're youngins.
It's like well, they don't use Mighty Mites or Novice
Yeah,
anymore.
they just do U17 or whatever they do now. But yeah, they're like 5 to 6 years old.
Right.
I mean, most of the players that like Carter Verhaeghe would have grown up wearing that.
So this is the thing. They think, minor hockey, Hockey Canada has decided it's hitting from behind is so dangerous. We have to put stop signs on kids in an age who can barely even balance enough to deliver a hit. Yeah. Like, what 5-year-old is like, I'm going to crush this guy. Oh, he's got a stop sign. Like, they can barely stand on their skates. Yet they put stop signs on those. I guess it's early indoctrination to plant the seed. But I'm pretty sure hitting from behind is not a problem in Timbits. I'm coming for you, Jablonski.
I was waiting for the Jablonski.
I was waiting. Don't turn your back on me, Jablonski. I'm going to drive your face first into the boards. And then like, oh, stop sign. Sorry, Jablonski. Like, so they'll put, I mean, I don't even know what it would be like. But like, so let's put stop signs on Timbits kids' jerseys. So there's no hitting from behind. Again, they can't balance well enough to hit from behind. Probably no little kid is vicious enough to want to do that, even if he could balance well enough. They're just learning how to skate. They're just learning how to handle the puck. If they do bump into each other, it's probably entirely by accident. Oh no, let's put stop signs on the backs of their jerseys. I mean, maybe wait till they're 8 or 9 and they might be developing a little more of a competitive edge or realizing you can use body position and your size and weight to get the puck. Like, I don't know. You've got me all upset about it.
Sorry, bud.
Well, it's okay.
You want me to cheer you up with good old Limerick?
Sure.
Dave in Section T. Game 3 proved Tkachuk is no fighter. After 20 last night, the bandwagon got lighter. Now Dry's the new Richard. Oilers making history pard. The wagon's full up for the Saturday nighter.
Not bad. Jeff in YYZ. Oilers come back with history did splice. Decades ago, road team scoring thrice. Almost a heart attack. Pickard wouldn't crack, though the tie did Draisaitl slice. That's pretty good. We were watching and listening to some of the calls in other languages.
Yeah.
And in there, the NHL had their ASL call. So the video of the game took up about 80% of the screen. They had a crowd meter on the bottom with like red or green lines showing how loud the crowd was. And then they had 2 guys in boxes to the right of the stream signing the game. I was fascinated. I'd never seen it before. I mean, I know they've done games in ASL for a long time, but I was fascinated by it because I said, Jay, you got to come look at this.
And I didn't know what I was looking at the start.
Well, I just said, just look at this. I didn't say, come look at the sign language call of the Draisaitl goal. And the cool thing was we could understand a little bit because you could see when the one guy said the series is tied at 2, and we perfectly knew what he was saying.
Yes,
I thought it was very cool. Now again, you and I aren't hearing impaired. I don't know what the experience is like for hearing impaired people, but I found it incredibly interesting.
It would. Okay, this might be the stupidest thing I've ever said. Brace yourself. But wouldn't it would be cool if they also could have an interpreter saying what they're saying, so that you could watch it and understand how they're portraying the game.
Well, I wonder if,
like, do they in between plays? Do they go into the?
Well, I'm sure they show replays and talk about it.
Break it down, right? And how much do they break it down?
Look, and it looked like one guy was play-by-play and one guy was the analyst.
Yes.
But I guess if you were a hearing impaired person watching with a hearing person, because there was no voice play-by-play on it.
No.
It was all signing. But you're right. So if I want to watch with Cuthbert and Simpson, I wonder if you could put that audio, and then if I was with a hearing impaired person, they would see the signing.
Yes.
So then we're both getting it. I don't know, because that was just signing, right? But my ignorance, I guess, because I assumed they've been doing it for a while. I didn't know the NHL had an ASL feed. But I thought, why is this? If you're because we'll see this for a lot of goals. I know you and I were doing the Crosby goal a few weeks ago, and I was commenting on the France feed how they just went nuts. But I was like, and it was NHL Europe, I think, because they had the who is it, ESPN doing the game, and Cuthbert, and they had a bunch of different languages, and then they had the ASL feed. And I was like, well, why? If it's going to be different languages, this should be in there all the time. I thought it was really cool.
It was.
But they had the German call first, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
And the Spanish call was very goal, go. So it was fun. Hernan was translating that one for us.
Yes, he was.
But yeah, they had the ASL call of the Draisaitl goal, which was pretty cool.
It was neat to watch. And you could understand what they were saying a little bit, right? Just from their hand
Well,
gestures.
you could tell because they did the series tied at 2, right?
Right.
Which was pretty neat. So anyway, great moment in Oilers history last night. 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup.
Mark in Lethbridge chimes in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Crazy to be having this conversation. He's talking about what we were talking about earlier about Coob, okay? Was just in my truck the other day thinking that in the short time Zach has been around, his reads have improved like crazy. It's fun to hear. Well, yeah, Mark in Lethbridge, thanks for sending that in.
Well, and Coob, I didn't hear the broad. I don't know if you maybe didn't like your last one or it wasn't your best. Whatever. I just kind of was a little, somebody jumps on it and made some snide comment about your ability or their perception of your ability.
I ain't too worried about it. If that's the only one that they heard
you're not
today,
worried about it, and you shouldn't be. You know, because you got to brush things off, not just in this job. I think any job to some extent. We do something that's more public than some jobs, maybe less public than other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I'm just like, you're coming at my teammate a little bit here.
Yeah, my bud, my bro.
I'm going to Corey Perry it for you.
Right.
Yeah, there's no stop sign on my back, but you got
give
it.
him the turtle thing. All right, Dustin Nielson is allegedly standing by in Hamilton. We'll get to him after the 5 o'clock break.
The EST Hangout.
But the refs were really bad again.
Dude,
2 missed
they're
calls,
never
high
good.
sticks, be consistent, baby. Come on.
Yeah, they missed some high sticks and some calls the one way. The other penalties were penalties. They
really just seemed to not see anything that we were seeing. And I questioned, I mean, I feel like at some point somebody got checked into a ref and the ref was like, didn't see it.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fridays just got a whole lot more fun. Spin the wheel at the banquet for your shot to win big and save on your bill. Spin, win, save. It's that easy. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Right now, the Jays and Phillies are underway in their series opener. They're locked at zeros in the bottom of the first. 2 outs with a runner on first and second. Kevin Gausman pitching for the Jays. One other game's live in the first as well. Marlins up 1-0 on the Nationals. And the Riverhawks are also in play tonight in Kelowna to play the North Paws. Listen to the game on any of EST's audio streams as we join the action midway through the contest at 7:30. In the CFL, the Red Blacks take on the Alouettes. Matthew Schultz gets the start for Ottawa as Drew Brown sits out due to injury. Kickoff is at 5:30, and Game 4 of the NBA Finals goes tonight between the Thunder and Pacers. Indiana up 2-1 in the series. Tip-off at 6:30. For the Stingers, they have a date with the River Lions. That one's just about to get underway. Edmonton 3-5 on the season. We got coverage of the game, play-by-play on our audio streams, starting just after 6. Elsewhere, Victor Soderstrom, former 11th overall pick in 2019, is off to Boston, being traded from Chicago in exchange for Ryan Mast in this year's 7th round selection. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. What we got going on the ESTV now? The football game starting right away?
Yeah, a little pregame action
incredible.
here. Well, I got to watch Jay's play of the day.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Let's go.
This is great.
Let's start a streak, Reid.
You will.
I know, bro.
But Drew Brown's out already. That's the crazy thing. Quarterbacks seem to get hurt so often. Because what's his face? The kid in BC, Nathan Rourke. Or as I call him, what's his face? We were in the banquet studio. Strike up some fun at the banquet bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends. Get real, play hard at the banquet. We're going to do buying or selling at 5:20 for Damon Bunting. I had it fired up. I'm just going to make it a buying or selling along with something else I had. Because it can still fit along with buying or selling. Our next guest is a noted play-by-play voice for the Canadian Football League on TSN. He's also worked in various Alberta communities as a radio and television broadcaster. Please welcome Dustin Nielson to the Reid Wilkins Show. Hi, Dustin.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. I really liked that round of applause when you brought me in. That was terrific.
So, Dustin, you've decided to write a new book. It's called The Dustin Nielson Tales. What was the inspiration for this?
I guess the book that somebody sent me last week about running in Western Canada back in the day. That would be the key, I guess. I don't really read much. I was just on a flight and I watched an iPad for 2 hours.
In all seriousness, that was my first question before I started to do some bizarre shtick on morning show television. What was your? Because I texted you this morning because I was kind of like, we need another guest. I was like, who's easy to guest? Who's easy to book? Oh, a colleague. Well, they have to say yes. Well, and you were like, I should be able to do it. But there's some stuff going on. So what happened today?
Yeah, no, we were supposed to fly out of Winnipeg this morning at like 7:30, but that flight got canceled. So we ended up leaving around 12:30, got to Toronto, and then man, I don't get out to Ontario very much, but the traffic out here sucks. Like it took us longer to drive from Toronto to Hamilton than it did to fly from Winnipeg to Toronto.
Oh, wow.
And Toronto to Hamilton's not that far away. Like tomorrow night after the game, we're going to be driving back to Toronto to stay by the airport. And it'll be like 11:30. It'll probably be like a 40-minute drive. It took over 2 hours today. So we're in Hamilton, and I plan on staying in my room and prepping, watching the football game tonight.
Well, I haven't been out to Ontario since COVID, but I would usually go every year because of some family there, and obviously, Jay's in Toronto, a good friend of mine. So, I believe the 401 is the busiest highway in North America. And when I do go out there and you realize the mass of people that are down there, then that, and this might irritate some people, but then I realize it's like, well, there's a reason they always lead with Leafs highlights. Like there are.
It's ridiculous down here. It's like you're in a different country here than compared to Alberta. Like I don't think I'll ever bitch about traffic on the Henday ever again. Like it was nothing. Like there was at one point I thought I saw a sign when we were driving to Hamilton. It was like, turn off to Hamilton, 3 kilometers. expected time 45 minutes. I was like, come on, what are we doing here? So yeah, it was frustrating, but flight was good, and yeah, now we're here, so it's all right.
Well, I had a cousin. I'm not super close to this cousin, but I will visit them when I'm there, and they lived in Ajax. Okay, so that's the other way from Hamilton, from Toronto, right? Like going north, I guess, or going towards Ottawa. So I stayed with them once, and then I was going into Toronto, Mississauga to stay with other people. So I used that GO train, right? And I was going in on a Sunday, so it wasn't very crowded, but it was about 45 minutes to get to, is it Union Station in Toronto, I think?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called, Union. I've taken the GO train from the airport to Union before.
But some people commute that way every day. Like they'll work in downtown Toronto, and they'll live it's like if there was St. Albert, and then Sherwood Park was northwest of St. Albert, and then Spruce Grove was northwest of that, and then
they just take the train all the way through.
They just train all the way, and that's how they commute.
It's crazy. I'm glad I only get out here a couple times. I could never we were driving down. Suter and I were driving down, and we're watching the lineup of traffic going back into Toronto. It was even worse. I don't think it moved for the entire drive. So happy to be here and looking forward. It's funny because I've never called a regular season game at Tim Hortons Field. I've done 2 Grey Cups on the radio, but I've never done a regular season game from the TV booth. So excited to see how it is.
Okay, and I'm curious to get your review because I know from working with Morley and Dave over the years, they often didn't have great reviews of Tim Hortons Field. Like I know it was the new, because I think didn't it start sort of the new wave of stadiums being built?
It was one of the first ones, I think. Yeah, it's.
But they said it just didn't turn out that great.
Yeah, well, when I did the 2 Grey Cups for our radio call, we were. I don't know if it was like a visitors radio booth that we were in or what, but I was basically calling that game from about one of the 5 or 10 yard lines, which isn't ideal. And then Suter and I were talking, actually. He's like, yeah, so Tim Hortons Field probably highest up in the league. So McMahon's quite a ways up there because you're at the top of their second bowl. And then I guess Tim Hortons Field is kind of the same thing. So it's gonna be quite the change because last night called a game in Winnipeg, and that's got one of the best broadcast locations in the league. So I mean, really, BC's really good, Winnipeg's good, Saskatchewan's good, Commonwealth's good. Calgary's not great to call a game from, and I guess Hamilton's not that great either. Montreal was really good last week. I thought that was a fun place.
Okay, before we transition to the hockey, what happened to Rourke? Because let's face it, I was invested in the Oilers game. I flipped during the commercials 3 times. My friend I was watching was like, "That's Dustin calling the game. That's your boss." I was like, "Yeah, settle down. I know. He's on TV too." But what happened to Rourke?
It looks like some sort of oblique injury on his left side. He was throwing, twisted, and just sort of went down on his own. So didn't finish the game. Mazzoli came in. But I think they said he's day-to-day. He's going to be reevaluated. And then Brady Oliveira, who's a reigning MOP, he left the game as well with some sort of upper body injury. So I don't think it's a stretch to say that the 2 biggest stars in the league got hurt in last night's game. If you're ranking star power in the CFL right now, Brady Oliveira and Nathan Rourke might be 1-2, and they both left last night's game. But last night's game was awesome. Strevler was incredible. The Golden Bear, Matthew Peterson, goes off for over 125 yards in his first game coming in and injury duty. So it was a nice way to start the week. Actually, it was a lot of fun, and look forward to see this Montreal-Ottawa game tonight.
So you're calling the game. You're fixed in on this game that's right in front of you. But there's also another game going on that you might want to keep tabs on. How do you, because I know we were on the group text together and you were like, "Hey guys, how bad was the third period?" Trying to find out details. But is it just you just can't go that way and can't go that route because you just need to stay focused on what you're doing? Yeah, you know what? It's I kind of, this is good. People are going to be like, "How dare you?" But for moments, I'll forget about the Oilers game because I'm calling a game, and then we'll get to a commercial break or in between quarters, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I better pop in, see what's up." And I was saying, I broke it down earlier today. Basically, when I first checked out the game, shots were 9-1 Florida, and I thought, "Oh boy, here we go again." And then I saw it was 1-0. Then I saw it was 3-0.
And then I checked my phone and I saw the Nuge had scored. And then the next time I checked back in, it was 3-3. And then our game finished, and I was showing Suter my phone. I said, hey, check it out. This game's 4-4 in overtime. And then I scrolled down once on that score app, and it popped up Draisaitl overtime winner 5-4. And I was like, okay, all right, yeah. So it happened like as I scrolled, and then I watched the 30-minute Sportsnet recap right after, and then I watched a little bit more of the game again today.
Okay, obviously, one of the stories out of that game was Stu Skinner not coming back into the net after the first intermission. Calvin Pickard came in. Calvin Pickard proceeded to save 22 of 23 shots, and Calvin Pickard is 7-0 this postseason. Dusty, going into Game 5 tomorrow here in Edmonton, is this even a close decision, or is this is Pickard's net now?
Yeah, I think it's Pickard's net now, but I'll also say I don't think Skinner's played his last action in this series.
Oh wow!
I know Pickard's come up with some huge saves, and I spent a lot of the playoffs defending Skinner, somewhat justified and somewhat not justified. What were the high danger chances? 13-1. I mean, you can make a case Skinner was their best player in the first period. The rest of them sucked. But Pickard came in and was huge. I would start him in Game 5. I expect the Oilers to absolutely roll him in Game 5. And then I picked him in 6. I think I'm thinking it probably goes 7 now, because if the Oilers win Game 5 and are in the driver's seat, I fully expect them to take their foot off their gas in Game 6 and lose Game 6. And then we'll be having the conversation again. Well, who starts Game 7? Because Pickard got lit up because his team was awful in front of him in Game 6. And I could see it going that way. But Pickard deserves a start, man. He was outstanding. Made that big save in overtime, obviously, off of Bennett. That a little bit of help from the crossbar. Huge save on Lindell as well. And he's done everything you could possibly ask of the guy. I mean, it's time, I think, to give him the net here and see what happens in Game 5. And he's super aggressive, and I hope that doesn't come back to bite him in the butt a little bit. Like on the whose shot was it? That was in overtime when Ekholm blocked the shot that the net was wide open.
That was late in the second. That was late in the second period. It was already 3-3. Yep.
There's those types of moments. I hope Florida doesn't start overpassing, because I think that might be the only way you really get to Pickard. I mean, if you can get him attacking you and then moving it. But the guy's been so clutch. I mean, I think the fan base, and maybe even me right now, might be more on Pickard train than Knobloch. I mean, we'll see what happens there. They might be like, Stu'd been really good up until that point. Go back to him. We know Pickard can come in. But I think it's got to be Pickard.
Yeah, we'll see. Really, it doesn't matter, though. Just win. Whoever's playing well.
No, but you know what, though, Reid? You're right, because somebody asked me this earlier today. I honestly don't think it matters who starts in net. When the Oilers are playing, it doesn't matter who's in goal. I mean, I was stunned that they came out with the first period they came out with last night.
So was I.
That's a must-win game, and you still had to fall behind 3-0 before you got going, which I don't know. It's wild. It's wild to me. And you know what? I was listening to TSN 1050 for 2 hours on the way from Toronto to Hamilton, and when they weren't talking about Mitch Marner's next contract, they were talking about the Oilers game. And Mike Johnson was on there, and we used to have Johnny on our show last year, and those guys basically said this series has pretty much been all Florida. From their perspective, they said, they've had lead here, let it slip away, had a lead here, had a lead here, had a blowout. So I kind of thought, well, do we in Edmonton maybe have our, homer glasses on a bit by thinking that this has been a really close series, because they all kind of seemed the consensus was that, Florida's kind of pissing this thing away, which I didn't necessarily agree with.
I don't think that's right.
I don't agree with that. I mean,
3 of the 4 games have went to overtime, and the series is tied at 2.
What period was the shot? Were the shots 14-2 Edmonton? Was that the third period of Game 1?
Yes.
I guess you could say, well, Florida had the lead, so Edmonton was chasing, but I don't know. I think it's been incredibly close.
That's what I think.
It's
That's
like,
why I was a little stunned.
It's like, okay, Florida outscored Edmonton 3-0 in the first period. Well, the next 39 minutes were 4-1 Edmonton, and they had to get a 6-on. By the way, Dustin, in our lifetime, 6-on-5 has been revolutionized. I almost expect a team to tie the game if they're only down 1. I mean, there are so many 6-on-5 goals now. It's crazy.
Well, I was scrolling there when they were up 4-3 late, and it was two. I think I saw it when it was like 2 minutes and 12 seconds left or something on my phone when I was finishing up the other game, and I still was just like, oh, they haven't scored yet. Net must not be empty. Like
Right.
you're just sort of assuming that that's what's going to happen nowadays. So. Yeah, I mean, you're always playing with fire when that net's empty at the other end. So, but game 5 is going to be incredible. I mean, these 3 of these games have been all timers, and game 5 is going to be absolutely nuts.
What time's your game tomorrow?
7:30 Eastern time. So we get started about like 45 minutes before you guys will out there.
So you're overlapping though quite a bit. Oh wow!
It'll be another pretty significant overlap, but we should. Pretty much might catch the end, and then I'll be driving back to Toronto after the game last night. So hopefully I'll be able to watch it Sunday morning. Well, I'll definitely watch it Sunday when I get home anyway.
Final question from Les Sweet in the Nasty Chat: what stadium has the best chicken nuggets?
I don't try nuggets at games, but I did tell the boys on the morning show today that I had 3 helpings of chicken tenders and fries in Winnipeg, and that's all I ate over the last 2 days. So I got here to the Sheraton in Hamilton, and I have because I stay at a lot of Marriotts, I have lounge access, and I hadn't really eaten anything today, so I was dying for some chicken tendies if they would have had them, but they did. So I went to the lounge, and I know you guys are going to laugh at this, but I don't know what it is, but I had I don't know if it's the cantaloupe or the honeydew.
What color was it?
The orange one.
Cantaloupe.
One. God, that's good.
Yeah.
Cantaloupe is delicious.
Cantaloupe is good.
Cantaloupe is really good.
Man, that might be my favorite fruit now. I've had it in the past, but today maybe it's just because I hadn't eaten anything all day. Cantaloupe just hit the spot, man.
You know what cantaloupe is because it's on that commercial that it's forced down our eyes where the dad tells somebody to knock on it and make sure.
It's the one with the
what's it
rough,
called?
with the rough edges.
Yeah, it's got a rough texture.
Yeah. I remember from my produce days.
I just want to say that the beard plays, baby. The beard plays.
Yeah.
It
the
looked,
short hair beard.
Oh man, it looked good. It looked strong.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting back out on the market now. With the beard looking so good.
That's incredible.
I'm kidding. But you know what? It looks. I'm pretty happy with it. I was a little nervous about having a beard on TV, but seems to be okay.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Insert text message from Tammy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's Marshall's got a hockey game right now, so she's at the rink. She'll never know about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way to get it after the fact. One and done. All right. Thanks for checking in. Really appreciate it. Enjoy Friday night in the Hammer.
Oh, I will. I was told to really not go out in this neighborhood, so I'll probably just stay in my hotel room tonight. So
Hess Village. Hess Village is not far from you. It's lovely.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just Google
All
it.
right.
It's really close.
Might have to check. Best of luck on that Jays play of the day as well. Is that where the line is at right now? 6 points, or did you move it?
No, that's where it's at.
Wow, I got it at -1 that day for
Dusty. They took it down. They took it off the site.
Well, it's because we killed it.
I think people were
everybody
hammering
that day was absolutely hammering it. So I apologize in advance to Jordan and the crew at Play Alberta when the Alouettes win on the money line tonight, because that's going to be a tough one.
Well, they're going to win by a touchdown. There you go.
There you go.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a great call tomorrow. Yep. Dustin Nielson, the Grand Poobah. Is that what you called him? Here at Edmonton Sports Talk, and of course, CFL on TSN. He is calling the game tomorrow, Saskatchewan at Hamilton. If you want to get in touch, by the way, you can text us on the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. The number is 780-218-9999. If you're watching us on YouTube, we need 15 thumbs to get to a double word of the day.
Okay.
We may have seen 200 sail away. It could be our second time without a 200 thumb show in the playoffs. I don't know what happened. People's thumbs are probably too nervous from last night, maybe a little exhausted. So let's get to 155 so we can get a double word of the day. Let's rally for that. Sound fair? Coob, have you given him the thumbs up? He usually gives the show a thumbs down.
Yes. I haven't.
Where he's like, brah, brah.
I stay neutral. I'm a neutral party.
Well, we need you today, brah.
We need you today, brah.
We just
Step up,
hey, we helped you. You help us. You got it?
Yeah, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Something like that.
Hey, do you know what? My mom texted in.
Uh-oh.
This is what she said. Coob sounds very professional. I have heard him when he started. He caught on very quickly. So there, you've got the seal of approval, Coob, from my mother, Pearl.
Pearl, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not past your peak like me. You're still going up.
Well,
I hope so.
And we got another note in the... said Gord Marchand. Zach is hit and miss on his reads, and as time goes on, he gets higher percentage of hits. Keep at it. Jay wasn't an experienced broadcaster to start either, and he also gets better as time goes on. Not everyone is Reid and Dusty with decades of experience.
Sounds like me and Blackjack.
Decades.
Yeah.
Decades.
Well, I guess I'm
Combined,
at a couple decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be proud of that, bro.
I have a lot of bad days, trust me.
We all do.
By the way, we're coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. We got buying or selling for Damon Bunting when we get back.
In baseball, it's 1-0 Phillies over the Jays. Kevin Gausman on the mound for Toronto, runner on first and third. The only other action, or 5 other games live, Mets and Rays runless in the bottom of the first. Elsewhere, the Riverhawks challenge the Northpaws. First pitch just after 6:30. Our audio streams joining midway through the contest just after 7:30 on the court. OKC plays Indiana as the Thunder trail 2-1 in the NBA Finals. Tip-off is at 6:30. In the CEBL, the Stingers and River Lions are just underway early in the first quarter. Edmonton leading 17-8 about 4.5 minutes into the contest. Listen to the game as EST joins on our audio streams into the game just after 6. Elsewhere, CFL action, Week 2. It's Ottawa hosting Montreal. Drew Brown out for the Red Blacks. Matthew Schultz, the starting quarterback. Kickoff at 5:30. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric.
TSN's Jamie McLennan joining us this morning for Pro-Am Sports.
I would start Calvin Pickard. He's a little bit more unpredictable in the net. Some nights he's an unmade bed in the net. It doesn't look great, but he gets the job done. The way that he plays might be a little bit more conducive to messing up Florida's attack.
The Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of The Nielson Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
All right, the Thumb Click remix, and we are one thumb away from double word of the day 45 away from 200. Oh, we got to get there, Jay. Come on, everybody. If you haven't thumbed up already, do it. Text the link to somebody else. Say, give these guys a thumb up in the next 20 minutes and keep that good playoff mojo going for tomorrow, Game 5 between the Oilers and the Panthers at Rogers Place. Limerick coming in from RC in Ladner. Come on, Nasties, let's hit 200 thumbs. Maybe Perry drops some jokes about mums. Be it F-bombs or candor, they tamed those damn Panthers. Oh, and let Jay know I'm a Facey alum. Pretty good, rhyming candor and Panthers. That was creative.
RC in Ladner is a Facey alum.
Yeah, how about that?
Well, we better get a Limerick in here from good old VR Montenegro. He's coming in as Venison Roaster Montenegro.
Oh, nice.
The refs were hard on the Oilers, calling them strict. Early power plays leads to Skinner being toe-picked. Knobs put in Calvin. Comeback OT win. Perry said, win, and it's the Dinner Theater District.
Oh, okay. And the Big Uke has one. I think he's been away. I think he's been on a golfing excursion or something. Swinging the sticks betwixt the mountaintops when chipping, hoping my ball stops. Oilers in 6, ain't no tricks. After the round in our condo, we've had some pops. From the Big Uke. That's pretty good.
Very good.
That's pretty good. He's a very talented Limerick writer. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com is how you can submit your limericks. We have, presented by Damon Bunting, buying or selling. Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. All right, buying or selling, Jay. The word choke is overused in sports. Allow me to pontificate. So, as you know, I like words, I like language, I like creativity, I like cleverness with language, but I also hate it when people start misusing or overusing a word. Okay? So, first of all, we had a Panthers troll in our chat yesterday, and he was like, McChoker, McDavid's going to choke again. And I've seen that. Well, if the Oilers, get to the Cup Final and lose again, what a choke job. And I'm like, hold on. When I was a kid growing up in Evansburg, if you lost, it didn't mean you choked. If you made it to the highest, level of competition in your league, the final series, and you lost, it didn't mean you choked.
No.
It maybe depend how you lost. Okay? You're up 3 games to, like, if the Panthers would have lost last year, that's a choke. That would have been a flat-out choke. You had 4 chances to win 1 game. You didn't do it. But this series being 2-2, I don't think you can label anybody a choke in this series. Maybe it's a minor choke by the Panthers last night, up 3-0. But even so, the Oilers had 2/3 of the game to catch up. Hey, when the Oilers were leading Anaheim 3-0 with 4 minutes left in 2017 in Game 5 and lost the game, that's a choke in that game. But it just seems like people, and this is part of the reason I went on that rant earlier this week, people are so eager in this digital day and age. I'm going to be the first one to tweet it. I'm going to go to the extreme. I'm not going to make any effort to think about this or analyze this intelligently. I'm just going to make the worst possible label I can. Like, it's silly. It's silly. The losing team in this Cup Final is not going to have choked. These are the top 2 hockey teams right now in the universe. And they are playing their butts off to try to beat each other. Okay? If the Oilers lose and they've lost 2 consecutive Stanley Cup Finals, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl specifically are not choke artists. I mean, you're telling me the other team, so like if you want to label everybody that loses a choke artist, well then I guess, the Toronto Maple Leafs choked. And I guess the Dallas Stars choked. Like, to me, choking is blowing a lead in a series, or maybe if you're heavily favored, and you lose the series. When you have, everybody knows you should win, like you're 40 points better than a team and they're maybe. So I just feel I'm buying on my own thing here, by the way. The word choke is overused because somebody said when the Oilers were down 3-0, choke job. What? No, it isn't. It's the first period. They're having a bad game. They're not choking. Enough.
I think I know what tweet you're referring to. And I read it later, and I just assumed that that person was talking about the Panthers.
Yeah, they got let off the hook by time itself.
Now, do you think it's better to say, like, for instance, last night, the Panthers choked that one away as opposed to just choked? Do you think it adds more context that they choked that one away? See, I like when it's choked that one away. I think that adds. I think you can do that.
Okay.
I
just think not everybody who loses choked. Like sometimes you lose or get beat. And to me, and here's the thing why I think you should be cautious about how you use it, because I think choking implies some sort of inability to handle pressure.
Sure.
Or to finish the job. So even if a team is up 3-2 and loses, I don't know, is that a choke? I guess it would depend how the games went. But like I would say most teams who lose don't choke.
Fair.
Like did Kansas City lose in the Super Bowl or did they just get their ass kicked? Like sometimes you just get your butt kicked.
They choked, man.
You think that's a choke? All right.
No, I don't. I agree with you. I'm buying on that as well.
Too much. Don't be careful how you use the word choke.
Reid, buying or selling?
I had another one. Okay, you go.
Jake Wallman had a little extra stank on that shot/celebration on his 4-3 goal.
Well, assuming I know the meaning of the word stank.
Yeah, a little fire.
I would say yes, because not only was it the down to the ice double fist bump celebration, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure he had some kind words for the Panthers bench.
I believe he did. Maybe don't fill a guy's glove full of water. Right? I like that. I like seeing that.
Stank, according to Wiktionary, foul-smelling, stinking, unclean. A ditch containing water.
That's what I was referring to.
Yes. No, but he made, because of everything that's happened with him and, whatever incident happened with his glove last game, he was making sure the Florida Panthers were well aware that it was him who scored what we were hoping was going to be the game-winning goal at the time. Still a big goal.
This is more of a hypothetical, so bear with me, okay? I know you're not really like to play with hypotheticals, but buying or selling, the Oilers make that comeback even with Stu Skinner in net.
We can never know. I'm going to say buying. I think they played that well in the second period.
Yeah.
And I choose to be optimistic. Here's a good question. Did the Kings choke in round one? Yeah, I think you could argue that, given not just that they were up 2-0, but then how they lost some of the subsequent games.
Did Hiller
Did Jim Hiller make some bad decisions? Yeah.
That's the question. You know how much I like to bring him up.
You do like mocking Mr. Hiller.
Well,
absolutely.
I think it's fair.
Buying or selling. When your dad says, don't get me anything for Father's Day, he means it.
Buying.
Yeah, I'm also buying.
Buying. And you know what? We don't need anything. Dads are different. Dads, if I need a shirt, I go buy a shirt.
Right.
I needed new sandals. Last weekend, I went and bought new sandals and immediately threw out the sandals I came in.
Right.
That had worn out. If we need things, we are capable and able to get them. All we ask for is your love and affection. And you, being
our
wife and children, wanting to hang out with said dad.
Right.
So I should take the opportunity right now, and so should you, Reid.
Well, I'm not a dad.
No, to say Happy Father's Day.
Oh, yes.
To our fathers, Bob and...
Bob.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be saying Happy Father's Day to my dad. We'll do something on Sunday. But yeah, he definitely does not want anything for Father's Day. I will not get him anything. I mean, like, is there anything? Because, like, and also, like, my dad's 80. If he needs it or has wanted it, he has it by now. You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like, he likes working in the yard. He's handy. Like, sometimes I'll be like, do you need any, like, tools or nails? Or he's like, no. Are you sure? Yes, don't get me anything. Okay, I won't. Because I knew if I got him something and he didn't use it, he would think, I wish Reid hadn't spent that money on me. He could have spent it on himself.
Exactly.
Like your dad, if your dad says, I hate to say this, like, maybe there's going to be some dad out there that's disappointed. But if your dad is saying, don't get me anything for Father's Day, don't get him anything.
Take his word.
Or take him out to his favorite place to eat. Give him an experience and time with the family.
Where would your dad's favorite place to eat be?
Right now, if he had to pick, probably Japanese Bistro on 118th and Jasper. Probably if he had to pick. But it depends what he's in the mood for.
My dad's a big breakfast guy. He could eat breakfast at any time of the day.
Oh, really?
So maybe like a Denny's or something like that, you know?
Oh, interesting.
Bacon and
I'm not
eggs.
sure if my dad would pick one place. Maybe he will pick a place on Sunday. Maybe I'll barbecue. I don't know. Maybe we'll just sit there.
Maybe you could cook some venison like VR Montenegro.
Well, maybe. Yeah. So, I'm buying. If your dad says, don't get me anything for Father's Day, that he means it. And don't get him anything. Like, don't even get him a gag. I'm serious. Don't even get him a gag gift.
Yeah. Not necessary.
All right, well, we agree. Do you think you'll get anything for Father's Day?
I got something this morning.
From Awanak?
No, from the neighbor.
Is there a father figure to him?
The neighbor girl. They get on the bus at the end of our driveway, and little Chai made me a Happy Father's Day picture.
Oh, what's it of?
It's like an alien-looking thing.
So is it supposed to be of you, perhaps?
I don't know.
And she didn't turn out perfect.
I'm just happy she made it. It really
that is pretty
it was really sweet.
She knows you're a dad.
Yes, and
All
she
right.
She doesn't have a dad. So
okay.
Yeah, so it was nice. I appreciated that.
That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, that's something you'll remember.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'll draw a picture of you.
I would love that.
I'm going to make a Jason Milne comic strip. So I need a few months.
That's fine.
Like October 11th, I'll be like, Jay, here's your Father's Day gift. You'll be, what are you talking about? Oh, I finally finished the comic. I wasn't happy with the original story arc, so I had to redo pages 8 through 11.
I would like to see that. I'd pay money for that.
All right, you can text us at 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. We have hit double word of the day. It would be an incredible rally if we got to 200 thumbs. Get in there and click if you haven't on YouTube. We're talking about the thumbs up button on YouTube. Go in there and give us a like if you have not already, or send the link to somebody else of the show and say, go give these guys a thumb up before 6 o'clock. That would be incredibly, incredibly good. Zulu says, I thought I was on the wrong show. It says September 13th, 2025. Oh, it does. The date at the bottom. It's okay. It's all right.
Wow, I didn't
even
catch
notice that either. Yes, that it would be one of our first shows if that wasn't a weekend. Coop just changed it on the fly. Coop, that's amazing. Just went there and changed it.
Coop's
I
the
saw
man.
some funny thing that it was something like some people, and I would include myself, you're not sure of the date unless it's past the 12th of the month. Because some place, because what's the convention? So we have 6/13/25. So
Month,
June
day, year.
But sometimes they will go day, month, year.
I think it should be day, month, year.
So if it was like 1/1/25, you wouldn't know if it was January. Oh, that's a bad example.
That is.
If it was like 4/1/25,
Right.
is it April 1st or January 4th? Like, to me, it's more logical to go month, day, year, but I think there are some.
I think it's more logical to go day, month, year. You know,
really?
There's more days.
So you would go 13/6/25 if you
Well,
were writing out?
I can read that. I know that, but once again, it is past the 12th month. If it was 2 days ago and it said 06/11, I'd question what month I'm in.
You're like, is it November 6th?
Yes.
Why is it the Stanley Cup Final?
Right.
What is happening?
Where's the Grey Cup?
All right, it's 5:43. Here comes the Coob. We got we will have a double word of the day. This is exciting going into the weekend. Talk to you in a couple minutes.
Right now, the Jays and Phillies are underway in their series opener. Toronto down 4-0 midway through the third inning, one out with a runner on first. Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Jays, and there's 5 other games live. Marlins up 6-0 on the Nationals in the third, while Cincinnati trails Detroit 1-0 in the second. And the Riverhawks Also in action, facing the North Paws in Kelowna. Listen to the game on EST's audio streams as we join the action at 7:30. In the CFL, the Red Blacks take on the Alouettes. Matthew Schiltz gets a start for Ottawa as Drew Brown sits out due to injury. Kickoff is moments away. On the court, Thunder and Pacers go at it. Indiana up 2-1 in the series. Tip-off at 6:30 for the Stingers. They're in action against the River Lions. Edmonton up 35-24 at the end of the first quarter. We got you covered with play-by-play of the game on our audio streams just after the show at 6 o'clock. The final segment of the show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Well, that's a good one, Coop. Good music coming through, buddy. So tomorrow, 10 a.m. to noon, Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, Hello Hockey here on the Edmonton Sports Talk stream. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. It's time to turn up the fun with the all-new Play Alberta app, your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery, instants, and, of course, sports betting. Download the app today. Deposit $20 using the EST exclusive promo code EST Casino for a $50 casino bonus, or you can use EST Sports for a $50 free sports bet. 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Tom Gazzola hosting the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live from the Ice House in Ice District. Hernan Salas, Matt Cassian, also part of that show. So they'll go from 5 to 6. Oilers face off against the Panthers about 20 after 6. The winner of the game will go up 3-2 in the series. And then Tom live from the Ice House after the game for the post-game show. I'll hop on there for Reid's Read for Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. So we got you covered tomorrow for Game 5 between the Oilers and the Panthers. Then what do we got? Game 6 on Tuesday? Schedule beyond that? TBD, bro.
TBD, bro.
Well, it'll be a week from today, but we won't know if there'll be a Game 7 until Tuesday.
And shout out to all the young athletes out there. We did get a lot of Athlete of the Week submissions, so I appreciate that. We'll be starting that segment next week, thanks to the good people over at Pasta Pantry. A little shout out, if I must say so myself. My oldest daughter, Grace, was named Athlete of the Year at our Drawson Junior High. And my good buddy, Sickler. Sickler's daughter, Brady, was named Athlete of the Year as well in grade 8.
Oh, amazing.
At Sherwood Heights.
Good stuff.
Great stuff.
That's incredible.
Congratulations, Brady. You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Isn't it?
Congratulations. What?
You're funny.
Well, sometimes unintentionally, but that's
The
okay.
word of the day.
Oh, double
with
word of the day
Reid and
already.
Jay.
Oh, I'm
All right.
sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Okay, let's do it.
First word of the day, vitrify. Vitrify.
Vitrify. I am going to go with the obvious spelling, Vitrify. Okay, there's a couple ways I could go with this. So I'm thinking out loud, okay? I think of vitriol, which means kind of like hatred or anger. And then I think of vitreous, which is, I think, refers to a type of fluid. And I think the surgery that I had was a vitrectomy for my eyeball. So I'm going to say vitrify, and the way you reacted, so I should almost have a point deducted.
No.
Maybe 0.18.
Can't help feelings, bro. I think you should use a sentence, though.
Okay.
I really do.
Really?
Even though I gave it away a bit.
Okay, I'll take a sentence.
The intense heat began to vitrify the sand at the meteor's impact site.
Liquefy. To turn into a liquid state. To turn from a solid to a liquid state.
The sand. Vitrified the sand.
Oh, turn to glass? Specifically turn to glass. Well, I should probably only get a quarter point.
To convert into glass.
Maybe 0.31.
Okay, 1.31 out of 2.
1.31 out of 2. Well, because I was barking up. I was barking up maybe not the right tree, but I was in a forest with a lot of trees, and the right tree was the next one over.
Correct. Well said.
So
second,
it's like I was a bloodhound, right? Like, so everybody, word of the day, picture me, I'm like a bloodhound. Okay, so I'm a bloodhound.
Nose in the ground.
I'm a bloodhound with a beard and glasses.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sniffing around for the word of the day, for the definition, right? And Jay's like, here, boy, and I'm like, where's that word of the day? And I'm like a bloodhound, and like my ears are dragging on the ground, right? And maybe I got like one of those little like a Sherlock Holmes hat.
Yes.
But yeah, so my master
and a cigar,
and I got like the tweed jacket too.
a pipe.
So they fully dressed me. I'm like a bloodhound dressed like Sherlock Holmes. And I'm looking for. And do I have a monocle? I think I got a monocle.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. So let's do it like we do.
That's what that song was actually about. Yeah,
Bloodhound Gang.
Yeah, Bloodhound Gang.
Second word of the day: tempestuous. Tempestuous.
I think you've given me this before.
Have I?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Tempestuous. And tempestuous, I think, means sort of. I think it sort of means volatile, unstable. Like Matthew Iwanek had a tempestuous relationship with most of his colleagues. But yeah, maybe I'm thinking more of a beagle, like Matt Hyman. Put in the nasty chat.
Matt Hyman's a beagle?
Did you ever see Best in Show?
I have yet to watch
You got
it.
like Fred Willard at the end of the show because he talks about dressing up a dog.
I've heard great things about it.
So funny.
Tempestuous, to be tumultuous or turbulent.
Okay. Like Stuart in the nasty chat just put stormy. So was I close enough? Volatile?
Oh, 2 out of 2.
You think that's still a 2 out of 2?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I got 3.31 out of 4. 3.31
out
also
of 4.
the Oilers' expected goals for tomorrow.
Boom.
3.31.
You heard it here first.
I did. I got it. I got it. Well, that was pretty good. Oh, Matt Hyman has a beagle.
I have a corgi. His name's Cooper.
Well, you have how many? You have 6 dogs, don't you?
22.
You don't have 22 dogs.
No, I don't.
Maybe if one of them could have had puppies. I guess several of them would need to have puppies since I was there.
No female.
How many do you have?
We have 2 dogs.
Well, when I was there were like 6 dogs.
Because my mother lives there now too. My mother-in-law.
Oh, so she
has 2 dogs.
You don't count her dogs as part of your dog count.
Well, yes, that's the pack.
How many dogs are on the property?
On the property, 4.
So 2 are specifically your Milne clan's dogs. Coop and
Bingo.
Yeah, see, I feel bad. I've neglected Bingo.
Bingo is a beautiful
Bingo not
dog.
know about me?
I haven't told him about you.
Right.
So just because I
Coop
didn't want to.
Took a liking to me.
Coop talks about you every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh, what a week. Huge game tomorrow. Hope everybody can enjoy it. Remember, embrace it. Watch it. Don't shy away. Dive into it. This is a magical time to be following the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, happy Father's Day to my Bob and Jay's Bob and all the dads out there.
And all the Bobs. Really?
Yeah, really. If your name's Bob, hope you have a great day. On behalf of Zachary Kubish and the glue guy, Jason Milne, I'm Reid. Have a great weekend.